Yo, check, check. Okay. What's, yo, what's good, DE? How you doing, bro? Yo,
What's that?
what's goody, bro?
There was a package outside. I put it on the couch.
Oh, appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Oh, it's probably hers. I didn't
yeah.
realize.
Took TikToks on it.
Oh my
So TikTok shop.
god.
You know,
That's an actual thing.
they get me. I have never bought anything, but I see the vision.
Wow. I I get those notifications and I'm like, bro, I'm not even on this app like that.
I feel like that stuff's not like made well enough either.
Correct.
No
Right.
way. It's all
Right.
like yeah,
100%.
sweatshop in China.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a
Yeah,
that's like real Shein
that's
esque.
exactly
Yeah,
the same thing. I'm like,
yeah.
this isn't gonna hold up.
That's the real Shein stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm good on
Yeah, I'll
that.
pass.
Dang, I can't. Let's see. Yo, what's good, D? You said what? There's only two chairs. I respect the fit, Ronnie.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Dang, bro, actually giving you kudos this time.
Dennis Rodman really won him over this time.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah,
Normally, bro, clowning.
that's true. I think it was Devin's aura really brings me down when he's
Oh,
here.
yeah.
That's what happens.
Devin had to prep with his family because since we are in Florida, we are dealing with some hurricane
Yes.
issues. So yeah, that thing will be here. We'll get rain,
We're
but
on the opposite side. If anyone's
thank
watching and doesn't know,
thankfully,
yeah, we're not on the
yeah,
Tampa side. We're on the opposite side. So
yeah, thankfully
yeah,
we're on the other side of the water. So yeah, so
which they've
we'll
been getting smacked. I feel like the last couple of years. I feel like that's like the normal track
no
is like
for
it just
real.
hits Tampa. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, I don't want to live over there.
because wasn't there one that started in the Gulf and it went through. I think I'm making this up. I think it started in the Gulf, hit Texas, and then did it wind off towards us, or am I thinking of another one that
I think there was
started?
another one. There
That's
was one, the one that hit Texas a few years ago, or was this
yeah.
recently? Was that was the big one? I think there was the was it Harvey? I
Mm-hmm.
think it was Harvey because that was one I think J.J. Watt was doing like cleanup for.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably what 4 or 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
that was
Might
a
have been that one. Yeah.
because I do remember one that started in the Caribbean, and then it tailed off. It smacked us, and then it hit like Mississippi, Bama, and then it ended up in Texas. I don't know if that was one
I'm trying to remember.
because I remember that one. I think that was the one like 2 years ago, maybe.
Was there one 2 years ago?
Yeah.
We had. This is gonna be crazy. This is a crazy pool. The
Mm,
last big one we had, I think, was it might have been Irma or Ian.
yeah.
That was the that day it hit was the day that Tua got that concussion
Oh.
against the
Oh
Bengals.
yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
go to my parents because they had they still had power somehow.
Uh huh.
So we left our house and then I was watching it there and that was the day he got the concussion. So that was like I think
Oh
2 years ago.
yeah.
That was our
Okay.
last big one we got.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I remember that
It
one.
was a Thursday night football game.
D, you said prayers. Yeah, no, I appreciate you, bro. And you said to read everything. So no, I'll get to what you said because it definitely tailors to the topic that I brought up. So, but yeah, without further ado, appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode, man. One less person. Uh, does low key feel weird only because I got so
It
used
does,
to
yeah.
they got
Yeah.
so used to all three of us being here, so it does feel weird. But without further ado, man, we're gonna get into it. We had a lot. There was a lot to talk
We
about.
do, yeah. We usually
Uh,
postpone them if someone goes down, but this one we got a lot to get through. So
that and we had the hurricane.
we did have that too. So yeah, there's we had to get ready for that.
Yeah.
But we'll
So
deal with that later.
definitely. So my question of the day, and I came up with this question: who or what is two, or I should have said two, but the blame for the Cowboys 1-2 start? It only gave me four options,
Okay.
but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Now, the obvious would have been like Jerry Jones, but I wanted to keep
For
it
like roster prep. Yeah.
right. But I wanted to keep it like more on topic of like what's the true reason.
Mm.
So I had lack of off-season signings.
Okay.
Mike McCarthy.
Okay.
Injuries to key players, or the big one, Dak Prescott.
Ooh.
There is actually a three-way tie between lack of off-season signings, injuries to key players, and Dak Prescott.
I would go with the lack of off-season prep, which is Jerry Jones.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think it's more so on him. I mean,
because that offense is just
pedestrian.
It's non-existent.
There's nothing there.
I mean, you have
your two running backs, Rico Dowdle,
yeah,
and then Zeke. They're kind of just mid-off right now. Whoever can get like 30 yards a game. CeeDee Lamb does his thing, but there's they're just a mess. I don't really know if it's more. I mean, the blame can be spread, but I would definitely put it more so on Jerry Jones. He didn't have this team ready.
Correct.
Yeah,
I agree. DE, he said, I blame Cowboys Nation for still having glorious Pookie Bear King Jerry Jones as their owner. He said, I blame Jimmy Johnson. How about them Cowboys? Sorry looking at. Bro said, I blame my aunt's friend for being a Cowboys fan for the losses. Oh, he's teeing off right now.
Damn.
Bro said, I blame Woody for Toy Story for being a Cowboy for their loss.
For being a Cowboy. He indirectly is hurting him.
He also said, I blame my uncle for being a Cowboys fan. I blame the state of Texas spending oil money on high school football stadiums instead of good football team for the Dallas Cowboys.
They're too worried about Friday Night Lights. Huh?
Ain't no way. How'd I catch it straight? Bro said, I blame Sean because he's an Eagles fan.
You shit on them too much. They got too much pressure.
How I catch it straight? Bro said, I blame Diddy because he violated the Cowboys. Oh my God.
Oh, the diddler.
He also said, I blame this slow ass precise on time stream starting exactly at 7 for the Cowboys loss. Hey bro, that you gotta take that up with YouTube. And he said, I blame myself for not having an actual stake from the state of Texas for their Cowboys loss.
Ooh.
And then last one, he said, I blame CeeDee Lamb looking at for wanting all that money for the Cowboys losses.
That about covers it, I think.
No, yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Boss. He really teed off. I mean, it's warranted though, because
it is.
I low-key feel the same way.
Yeah.
But
they're gonna get blasted if they lose tomorrow.
Yeah. 100%.
Don't lose to Daniel Jones.
Oh,
don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean, because that man. Oh yeah, we're
gonna cover it.
Yeah.
He looked a lot better this past game. Malik Neighbors is giving him a huge boost, but.
I want to talk about that subject as well because I feel like they're giving him the Odell treatment. Star wide receiver,
yeah.
Star wide receiver on a mid team. Then when he gets what he wants, or when he asks for what he feels like he deserves, he doesn't get it. Then he outbursts, and it's a Odell 2.0.
What are we gonna yes, he's only 3 games in, but what are we gonna do in 2 or 3 years when he's playing like Jefferson? I mean, he has the same numbers that Jefferson had coming into the league, and then. Are they going to want to sign him, or is it going to be like Saquon? Oh, you can walk too.
Saquon, bro. Yeah, it's a cycle. Look at all the talent that they had afterwards because they got rid of. I mean, look at how they did Eli. No disrespect, even though he
was on borrowed time, but they kind of were like, we got a shiny new toy.
Yeah.
Thanks for the 2 Super Bowls,
right? And they did him dirty. I was like, okay, I think that's the beginning of the end of that. That
was the way they disrespected him,
right? 2 Super Bowls, nonetheless.
What's crazy with the Giants too is they could have re-signed Barkley and still drafted Malik Neighbors. That didn't affect them, so they could have had those 2 on offense. Daniel Jones could have just handed the ball off and thrown it to him for 50% of the game, and they would have been fine. But
But you got Devin Singletary back there. No disrespect to him, but I mean
good career, but not Saquon Barkley.
Right.
Saquon Barkley's going crazy right now. Yeah.
So you just got a serviceable running back just to fill a spot.
And the team and the O-line is not good enough to have serviceable people. You need to have people that are a little above average. So
Correct.
They really shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, because that's why every time bro dropping back, he only got like 3 seconds to pass.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. It's like, is he good? No. Mm-hmm. But does he have a lot of time to throw? Also, no. So,
correct.
Yeah, they're a nightmare. But
correct. DE, he said, I blame the hurricane in Florida for being just as washed as the Cowboy.
Oh my God. He called the hurricane wash.
Nah, Devin catching this straight. He said, I blame Devin for bailing out on the podcast tonight for the Cowboys loss.
Could be.
Man, it's hurricane is like the only time Floridians take hurricane seriously is like the day before. Like,
oh yeah,
like during, everybody's outside looking at how bad it is. Then the next day, like
there were kids in high school that would like try to go by the bridge when it was like the hurricane. I'm like,
yeah,
we just don't care. I guess.
Yeah, no, nobody cares.
Nobody. Just live through them, and yeah,
we'll take it serious for like the day it hits, and then like towards the end of the day, it's like yeah. So yeah, that's definitely how Floridians get down. If y'all ever wondered.
Yes. Yeah. Don't worry about us. Yeah.
For real. But so actually I want to start with a conversation that Miles and I were having earlier today. So you heard about the UNLV, that whole debacle, and then you got the update with the running back sitting out as well.
I did. The running back I didn't read into. The quarterback one I kind of deep dove into. I wanted to see a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to know your opinion on it, or the chat's opinion. I mean,
oh yeah, Miles, definitely chime in, bro, because I definitely, because everything you were talking about, we definitely.
I know how he feels about the NIL deals.
Yeah, no, but still, like, I essentially said, because he sent me the link this morning, and I actually got more information on Instagram. I didn't realize that they didn't pay for his expenses.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that, because at first it was like, okay, he only got $3,000 out of his $100,000 deal.
Yes.
So I mean, I was trying to tell. My stance on it was, you're not gonna work a job where you're promised this amount of salary
and then you don't get it.
Correct. But I understand where Miles was coming from, because it's like, what happened to, we just play the game, we're here in college. What happened? Like, basically, what happened to the old era of college football? Yes. And I said, and I was telling him, I'm like, the moment that they brought NIL into football, that was completely off the table. We can no longer go back to old football, because money's involved now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, because I was thinking about, I'm just like, dude, like, I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I said, well, would I sign an NIL deal right now? I genuinely feel like I would be a hypocrite, because I would sign that money. Yeah. Because there's no way I'm going to go and throw my body at risk.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And then, no disrespect to Jordan Travis, but
see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And say, like, let's say if he wasn't granted all his cash and he just doggone had his leg twisted in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that.
So it's like, I see both sides, and from our era, we're coming from we were just raised just to play the game regardless of anything.
Yeah.
Then you're rewarded.
Competitive spirit, especially in college, yeah.
But then now they're rewarding everybody first, then playing. So now it's like, a lot of these dudes are seeing just as much as money, or not as much money as NFL guys, but starting out, this is a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So
it can be life changing, and this goes into my point. Where I don't know if you.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say so. I looked up his stats. I always like to see. I'm like, okay, is this an NFL prospect? I hadn't heard his name. I knew that the UNLV was 3-0, so obviously I was like, okay. So he transferred over. I believe it was from Holy Trinity. He was all right there. He is a senior this year, so he's going to redshirt and get transfer portal, get one more year. He's not going to go to the league. He was not projected to be a first, second, third, fourth, fifth round draft pick. $100,000 to him as a player and as a kid, 20, 21-year-old kid, that's not going to the NFL is a lot of money.
Right.
So you're promised that. You go there after you transferred from your other school, and then, like you said, you find out you're not going to get it. It's like, leave a sour taste in my mouth. It's a lose-lose situation for UNLV. They look stupid because they promised this kid money. Now they're going to try to get other recruits, and they're going to go, "Oh, are you going to screw me too?"
And I literally said that in our group chat because I said this looks bad for that program.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, well, if you're shafting the starting quarterback,
yes,
now the running back is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, okay,
why would I want to go there? Because you could promise me a Lamborghini, but then you're going to tell me, "Oh, yeah, we can't get you that."
Right.
It doesn't make sense. And he is in a lose-lose. Like I said, they're both in a lose-lose for them, but then for him, he's abandoning his team. They're 3-0.
And that's exactly what Miles said in the comment. He said that he feels bad for his teammates.
Yeah, he's abandoning his team. Because at the end of the day, the team, I don't keep up with them enough to really tell you if they're a good or bad program without him. But you are the quarterback. You're the engine that runs the offense. So now you have to go to your backup. And
right.
Like I said, they're 3-0, and he's essentially in college, which is a crazy statement, choosing money, the dispute over money over playing.
And that's what happens when you bring money into a huge program.
Correct.
Now it's literally they won't move, breathe, practice, anything involved without their money.
Which is what, and I know Miles has brought it up before, and we talk about it. College 10 years ago, if I would have said that to you, it would have been like, "Oh yeah, that kid's going to transfer. He's not getting the NIL money." You're going to go, "What are you talking about?" But now it's serious. It's because money makes the world go round, especially for these kids.
Right.
And I'm sure he felt disrespected, but just say screw it and play for your team. I don't know. It's a hard thing to toss up.
And I wanted to read the comment. DE, you said I blame my glorified sunshine Pookie Bear King LeBron James for being Cowboys fan for their life.
That's okay. That one's true. It could be LeBron's fault.
And then DE, he also said they from Vegas, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, because my thing is like, yeah, he can go and play, but then I'm thinking of it like I'm really just thinking of it from a business standpoint. Like a lot of these people, like they're not going to want to jeopardize their future over some money.
Yeah.
Because if he's making $100K, and you said he's a freshman.
No, he's a senior now.
Senior?
He's redshirting his senior year, which is this year.
Right.
So now he'll get to go play one more year.
So then I'm thinking he's going to just pocket everything because, as you said, he's not projected to go into the NFL.
Correct. Which that was my first thing was, okay, this kid just really hurt his draft stock.
Right.
But then it was already like his projected to be like an undrafted free agent, maybe get a tryout somewhere.
Right.
So that money meant a lot to him because he's probably not going to get a shot in the league.
Correct.
I get, like I said, I get where he's coming from. It's kind of a shitty situation for all sides. It is.
Because if that's the case, then it's just he's really trying to set us. I can't even speak. He's trying to set up his future.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but at the same time, it does look bad on him, the program, and I also understand like your teammates as well. But I feel like these are things that like we're not on the inside about, so we would have a perspective from the outside. But I'm pretty sure on the inside, I'm not going to put a bunch of words in grown men's mouth. I'd understand it, but I'm like, damn, dog, we low key need you. I totally understand the whole business side of everything. Like, if you're not going to get paid at your job, then you're not going to, like, I refuse to work.
And that's the thing. It's like, with college football, it is different because, like you said, it's the camaraderie of the team. They're trying to win a bowl game. They're 3-0. But yeah, he is. I mean, you have to be selfish sometimes in life. He's trying to look after himself. The rumor, and if someone can confirm or deny,
and Miles, because if I think you're about to say it, Miles just dropped it in the chat too.
It might be. So I guess the assistant coach was the one that offered him the $100K.
I saw that too. And
then whatever Miles.
The attorney.
Oh, I didn't see the attorney.
Okay, so Miles said he heard something that said that the QB family hired an attorney because they think he deserves $100K after. And Miles said after 3 games, really.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're about to lose a lot of money to get that $100K. So wow. Talking about it, this definitely seems a lot of I mean, again, you only gave him $3K of his $100K deal, but the lengths that they're going, it
might get messy. Yeah.
I made a comment to Miles. I said I feel like these are the gray areas that no one's talking about.
Yes.
Like this, because
yes,
it goes either way, but it's just like no one wants to really go into this topic because it's like it involves morals.
Yep.
Then it involves
it's like an uncomfortable situation to talk about.
Yeah.
But someone eventually pokes the bear, and this hopefully doesn't open up the floodgates for everyone else to go like, I want it in writing here, and give me a clause in my NIL that if this happens, I mean.
But I'm glad this came to the light because this really has to be situated.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't. There's too many gray areas. Like they came out with NILs, but then I don't feel like they structured it on the back end.
No, this was kind of just like all out warfare. I mean, it doesn't really. There's no order to it.
Right.
Like I feel more so bad for the kid than I do for UNLV. They're the ones that are the greedy corporation empire that offered the kid the money.
Right, because it literally goes right back on them.
Yeah. If anything, you can mark the kid and say he was a bad teammate for leaving his teammates, but also good for him for taking up for himself and putting his foot down because they don't care about that kid. They really don't.
No, and I told Miles too. I was just like, bro, at the end of the day, like he has to get his because his teammates aren't going to really pay for his stuff, and they're probably he's getting $3K. I'm pretty sure like everybody on that team is getting like that's bare minimum.
Oh, easily,
and they're getting a lot more than that
easily. And for the people that might go like, because we talked about it, and I'll look at it the flip side, like, 15 years ago they would have just played for the love of the game. Well, the structure's different now. Yep. So if the money is there to grab, then you should want to get it.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
As we were talking about Archie Manning, it was like, bro, like just do the whole Madden thing.
He was like, I don't want to do the NCAA game. I'm not going to pay. And then they paid him like double what they said they were going to. He said, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, and I understand too. And again, that's where the morals come in because he thinks that by him taking that job, it's like, or taking that offer is just going to make him look down. I'm like, no, bro. You are literally in the prime of your life to where you can make as much money as you can right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, go ahead and take that because if it doesn't work, or we know you're going to the NFL, but worst case scenario, you have that money for you.
He cracked me up because it's like your dad's somewhat rich. I mean, he's one of the Manning brothers. Your uncles are stupid rich. I mean, he had the cushion, but still, I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's, they got to look out for themselves. Arch is a different story. He's going to go first round whenever it's time. And this kid, good for him. He's trying to probably graduate, set up, like you said, set up his life. I don't see the issue in it. But
yeah, we can definitely see like the issue of where a lot of people will feel like as if like, hey, bump that. Your team's 3-0. Why don't you see? But if you go 3 games and then again, they didn't pay for his expenses. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of areas that going on behind the scenes that no one's talking about. So it's like, okay,
correct.
That's where we need to be like, all right, I can see where he's coming from.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Miles, you also said, let me get this out of the way. You said expect to see more the rest of the season. Oh yeah, definitely, bro. And that's what we were talking about when the transfer portal went up because we were like, dude, like so many people were in the transfer portal.
Oh, God, yeah.
Looking for, because that's what it is. Like they're going to go where the talent is now. It's not. It's
the NIL money deals and all that stuff. Whoever can kind of formulate the best offer, they're going to go to it.
It's not, and it's not going to be like the old days, like even in like pro football when you had like the Texans that were just bottom barrel.
Yeah.
And had all those guys on. You bring in a few pieces. AFC, I forget, not championship, but the second round, semifinal,
divisional,
divisional. Thank you, Lord. I'm still on basketball. I'm still on basketball,
and they weren't far away from beating the Ravens last year.
Exactly. So it's definitely not one of those situations. They're gonna go because they definitely at the end of the day, these guys want to get drafted.
Yeah,
they want to go to the league, so they're gonna go that route.
Some of them have been dreaming about it since they were 4 or 5 years old. They got pressure from their dads, their uncles, their brothers, whoever. So, I mean, it's life or death for them, really. I mean,
for real. Agreed.
Yeah.
Miles, you said, so UNLV wasn't the one who did it. It was UNLV NIL Booster. It was the same issue in Florida. Their NIL is trash.
I got you.
And he also asked, do y'all think this is going to set a bad work precedent? Like these kids get all the money, don't work for anything. Do they need to work harder because they are set? And he also said, think about the NBA and NFL players. They get their bag, but 95% of them don't work harder after that. So
It's a good point. Uh, is it pretty much formulated to say like there's gonna be no motivation to do well?
Do they? Does this set a bad work precedent? So this with the NIL, it's more so if it doesn't work out for them, they're not gonna do it. Like last year, bowl games.
Yeah.
If it wasn't like the chip, it wasn't the natty. None of the.
Oh, they weren't playing. Yeah, they had to
like
protect their future.
Jaden McDaniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., Caleb Williams, like those I could say that could answer your question because now those are becoming meaningless games when those were the games that we all look forward to.
Because being in a bowl game is prestigious. Not every college gets to it. Florida,
right?
So like if you're there, you should want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But then also selfishly, like we said, they have to take care of themselves.
Right.
If Caleb blows out his ACL in that bowl game, I mean, what do you do?
Again, Travis Hunter, and I'm sorry I got to use him as an example, but it's stuff like that. So
and then Jordan Travis snapping his leg.
Right.
So I mean, which obviously that wasn't a bowl game, but he dropped probably 2 or 3 rounds because his leg folded in half. So it's they're just kids, man, and they're trying to set up their future. Like we just said, they dream about it. So.
Right. But also, like these kids get this money and they don't. I sort of feel like that's more so in the NBA than the NFL. But also, Adam Thielen did say that a lot of guys did come in and they just didn't work. I feel like it's somewhat different for college because they're wanting to go to the NFL, so they're still gonna keep up that work ethic. They're just going to be more strategic on how they go about the transfer portal.
Yes.
So to answer your question, will it set a bad work precedent? We just won't, like the games that we used to be excited for, we may not see them like we used to. But I definitely see a lot of sandbagging going on in the NBA and NFL because again, there's been multiple reports of guys they just come in, practice, leave, and then they're on the team.
And they can't even win because it's like they get the big contract and then it feels like they tail off. But then you have like T. Higgins who's had a hamstring injury that we don't know if it's true because he wants a new contract.
Right.
So they don't want to play when they don't have a contract. Right. But they don't play when they get the contract. Exactly. So teams are just handcuffed.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, you don't win. Yeah.
Agreed. And it's like you're not going to find that talent anywhere else. And I mean, look at the Bengals offense.
Yeah.
Since they don't have their big 3 anymore. I mean, Tyler Boyd left, but I mean, T. Higgins is down and I mean, thankfully they managed to put up 33 against Washington, but they still lost.
Yeah.
And they let go of the running back.
Yeah.
So
the runner was Zach Moss, and yeah.
So it's definitely interesting. And Miles also said staying on. Oh, sorry, that's the washer.
Oh no, you're good.
And he also said staying on NIL. He asked, y'all saw Reggie Bush is suing USC Pac-12 for NIL compensation.
I did not see that.
That is new. I did not see that. So. Because I know he finally got his trophy back or his Heisman, but what is the and the NCAA? That man coming for blood.
Trying to get everyone.
I mean, which is understandable because I mean they did really just rob him of his Heisman, but no, I did not hear about that, Miles. That is interesting. So he's gonna get NIL compensation for his likeness in video games in the previous NCAA games for the PS2. Is that what I'm assuming?
Or unless there any likeness likeness would be video games, but like jerseys, video. I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering if it's like
previous commercials
or anything. Yeah, they still market. I don't know if it's like billboards they put up at USC with him on it. It could be stuff like that.
I mean, because he's been back in these college.
Yeah, he's been working back in. Yeah.
So
the Heisman one that they do with all the Heisman House or whatever. Yeah.
Miles said, "I think so. You got to read more about it. I think likeness from the past decade. I mean, okay, so we were right. So more so the commercials he's been in.
Yeah.
especially the bowl game commercials.
Yes, probably anything where he has a USC jersey on, which is like the Heisman commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, that he's representing.
He said they advertised him in the past, but never compensated him. Wow,
damn! Oh my god! And they took away his Heisman. Dude, they've been going crazy.
Gosh, bro was spinning the block now.
Reggie Bush has had an interesting life.
For real.
Started with Kim Kardashian.
Yo, that man winning now.
Oh my god.
That is wow, that is interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Let's see.
So, did I
try to see if I have any? That's why I've been looking for anything random I have, but
I don't remember if I saved anything. I don't. Maybe not. Oh, I have some statistics about Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones, but we'll wait for the NFL. We'll wait for the NFL topic. I don't think. Oh, I have last week's thumbnail. I don't think I have anything. Nope. No, I don't have anything.
Anything random? I don't either.
Mm-mm.
No.
I think it's been straight up. I've been watching. I try to watch all the games. This week for college was a blowout.
Yes.
A lot of
this week for football level of play was not.
Yeah,
not great.
It was a blowout, and I had 3 screens up watching football or NFL football like all day. Wow, like every game was just a nail biter.
The level of play was a little bit wonky to me. I wasn't going crazy. But yeah, most of the games were at least they were close.
Right.
They were all like on a level playing field. Yeah.
We're definitely gonna get into these injuries because a lot of these teams
it's stacking up. It looks like a Pro Bowl roster,
dude. It is bad, and we're only in week. And hard to believe we're already in week 4.
I thought about that the other day. I was crazy. Like, Jesus.
Because I'm like, we're week 5 NCAA, and then we're week 4 NFL. I'm just like, dang, week 4, like it just started. It is crazy. So going back for week 4 for NCAA for all just the close game. So Illinois beat Nebraska in OT. I want to say I don't think that game was televised for me because Marshall and Ohio State was televised, and I dipped after like 21-7.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, it started getting out of hand. Marshall scored first, and then it just went.
Yeah, right. I was trying to watch another game, but Clemson and NC State, that game was on. I come back, it was like Clemson ran up the clock on. They ran up the score.
I saw that one too.
And
I watched the Florida game. Florida pulled it out.
I did as well.
Yeah, Mississippi State.
I was watching. I think the UCLA LSU game was televised, and I watched some of that until it was a blowout again. Yeah, it was really lopsided. The USC Michigan game, I don't think that one was televised either. That was a good game.
Yeah.
Michigan won by 3.
What else was there? LSU won.
Mm-hmm. Missouri won by 3 against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Michigan squeaked out the 27-24 win over USC.
That Tennessee-Oklahoma game was a little lackluster. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was.
Yeah.
But Tennessee won by 10.
10, yeah.
And I think the other game I had on was BYU-Kansas State, but yeah, BYU just ran off on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week was definitely a few close games, but other than that, it was like a lot.
It was pretty. Yeah,
it was a lot of blowouts, honestly.
Yeah.
Colorado, did they? Yeah, Colorado won, I think.
Yes.
Because I know they were.
Yes, because they had what was it? I feel bad for not knowing this off the top of my head. Shador's threw a pass. I believe there was pass interference called offensive pass interference, and then he threw another pass, and they got it, and then they went to overtime and won.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I was watching that game, and I'm sitting here, I'm just like, for all that this team is, why is it every game always ends in OT?
Yeah, they get wire to wire. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I'm not saying this team is bad, but it takes a lot for them
to close games out.
For real.
Usually they're down and have to come back. That's typically what happens. Yeah.
It's either that or it's just neck and neck. But I'm like, for a team that has like a lot going for itself,
you would think
they can just not close out games. Miles, you said FSU won. They thrown a parade in Tallahassee.
Yeah,
No way they
FSU won. They beat Cal. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That was the early game. I missed that one because I saw it on. It was on. I think it was on ESPN too. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I was pissed.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess good for them for winning, but
I mean, well,
whatever.
One more game than them?
Yeah, we're 2-2. They're 1-3.
Yeah, so I mean,
listen.
At least y'all can say that y'all do.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's all it is at this point.
We got 2 wins. Yeah.
And funny thing, chat. I did not realize I was watching because I was just looking for some games. I think what was it, Tuesday? Did anybody know that the WNBA playoffs is going on?
No. Is that what's going? That's what's going on right now. Connecticut's already up one. Wow.
Yes. Because I was watching it, I was just like, no shot.
And you know what's really bad is they showed a T-shirt in the pro shop just like 2 minutes ago, and I wasn't even paying attention.
What?
It said WNBA play.
Bro.
I wasn't even paying attention. I looked at it, I was like, oh, they got T-shirts. And then I just looked away.
I didn't. I sat there, I was just like, I'm like, I know that they don't have any money, but to not even be like, hey, WNBA playoffs start this day. I didn't even know.
They should be throwing advertisements on the phone or on the TV.
All day. I'm getting basketball stuff still of training camp.
And this season's been definitely, to me, it seems like it's been a success for them.
Better.
Because they've marketed well. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese.
Right.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark mostly,
right.
The new group that's coming in's kind of got them
right.
At least people are talking, but yeah, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
No clue.
Same.
Yeah.
Miles said game of the week: Georgia versus Bama.
I was gonna say that'll be the one to watch.
Georgia versus Bama.
I would say it's gonna be the.
Louisville
Notre Dame will be all right, but yeah, I would say Georgia Bama.
I think. I almost.
Oh, not Louisville Notre Dame. It's where's it at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you were right.
Yeah, I thought it was on the wrong week.
Yeah, no.
But Texas plays Mississippi State. That'll be a blowout. Ohio State, Michigan State, Georgia, Alabama. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There'll be some good games this week, hopefully.
Yeah. But. So then Virginia Tech, Miami, Minnesota, actually Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Oklahoma, Auburn. Let's see. And then towards the end, I'll definitely tune in for Oregon versus UCLA.
Yeah.
And then Illinois and Penn State. Yeah, that should be a good one. Okay, so hopefully this week will be a lot better than this past week.
We can only hope. Yes.
That was rough. I think that's all for college too. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as just that was it for college. I know basketball's training camp is starting up soon. Yeah, it's crazy.
I know.
I'm just
like, their off season is what I wish the NFL off season was, as far as like how quick it goes by. But
it also didn't help that they competed in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's true too.
So
because you still saw basketball,
right? Yeah. I did see earlier JJ Redick's starting lineup.
Oh,
so they're gonna have Russell at point, Braun at the 3. I forgot who's at the 2. They're gonna have Hashimura at the 4.
I was gonna ask if they snuck him in.
Yeah.
Is Reeves at the?
I think he's at the 2.
Is he at the 2? Okay.
And then
AD
at the 5.
Oh.
So I don't know. Well, I don't know how that's gonna go synergy wise. Only due to if Braun will let the guards play, or who's bringing the ball up, who's the ball gonna be going through.
That starting 5 doesn't move me though. Really,
that's what I'm saying. And,
I don't.
And then with Hashimura low-key taking a back seat, are they gonna have him a stretch 4? Are they gonna have him in the offense at all?
I know. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's a lot of questions to be asked, but to me, I don't think that it will work chemistry-wise. Only because
it just sounds like it won't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hashimura has been on the floor before with Braun and AD, but I really think that the ball will just move through LeBron and AD, and I feel like it's going to be a repeat of last season, honestly.
Yeah, which it worked so well last season that I'm sure it'll work this year.
Yeah, but I don't know. Hey, new coach and no new players other than the draft. So
Dalton Connect probably come off as a 6 man.
I hope so because that man could ball.
Oh yeah,
he could hoop.
Yeah,
but it's whatever Braun and Redick feel.
Yeah, it's the Braun and Redick show.
DE, you said, I'm gonna be real. As a Cavs fan, I do not care about basketball starting up at the moment. Now, I mean, your Steelers are doing well. I did not.
Yeah,
I didn't really expect y'all to be 3-0.
No,
at all. So I mean, you honestly have football to look forward to.
I do want to ask DE, do you believe that this had anything to do with Justin Fields, or is this purely your defense? Because I think it is about 80% defense and 20% offense.
I want to say offense does have a part in it.
It has a small part, but I'm pretty sure the Steelers defense has only allowed 14 points the first 3 games. So I mean, it's a little. I mean, I'll give Justin Fields his credit, but the defense is just stupid right now.
100%.
Yeah.
He said I'd say both.
That's fair.
Miles also said Austin Reeves at the 2. D'Lo doesn't show up in the playoffs at the 1. And then Miles said, I know how it's gonna go. We're gonna go 20-62. And then he also agreed with DE when he said he does not care about football or basketball at the moment.
Sure.
Man. We're right around the corner, so I'll probably say sometime next month basketball will start getting some preseason games.
Yeah.
And then we'll be in full swing, and then shortly following after will be college basketball.
Yes, we'll get all the basketball back. We'll have basketball, football, and hockey at the same time. And baseball till playoffs till October.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely be tuning into that because can't wait for some World Series action.
Yes, and good news for for me is the Celtics come to Orlando. I think 3 times this year.
Nice.
So I'll go to one of the games.
Nice.
Check that out.
And speaking of baseball, Phillies we won the division?
You guys clinched the division, yeah?
Nice. Yeah, I saw that. I was hyped for that.
Yeah.
D, you said October baseball coming up?
Yes. Yeah.
College baseball?
No.
Playoff.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, you're good now.
This is I'm still learning a baseball term.
Yeah. We got playoffs will last pretty much all of October.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, if the series go a lot wild, then the World Series will bleed into like the first 2 days of November. But typically, it's all of October we'll see some baseball. So we will cover that as well. Get through that.
D said my Guardians won the division as well and secured the number 2 spot.
They did.
Nice. Good stuff.
Right, the Red Sox are hanging on by like a wire.
Jeez,
there's not much. They need to win out, and then they need like 3 other teams to have like 1-3 records. It's like impossible.
Wow. So you
didn't finish well, but they're not eliminated yet. There's like 6 games left, I think.
Right.
But yeah.
So basically, we're gonna leave everything up
to
chance.
Yes. Yeah. The odds are not high.
And DE said that game I went to, they walked it off in 10 innings.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that was the game when he was you were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was here, but then he was at the game at the same time.
Oh, we love it. Yeah. Dedication.
All right, Miles. You want to talk about it? Because we're gonna get into some football, bro.
Oh, poor Miles.
And then DE, we'll definitely talk about your Steelers, bro.
Yeah, we gotta give them their flowers. I will absolutely do that.
Because I want to get your opinion on what this team will look like when Russ comes back. If Russ should start, or if they should just leave Fields in.
Or is it even a conversation? Are they looking at Russ like, sit down, don't look at me?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, they're winning games, but he's doing enough.
Yeah.
But would this team look better?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yes, yeah.
If Russ is in the offense.
Could the offense spark a little bit more with Russ?
Right. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? DE said, Russ who? That's how I feel.
No, I feel that. He is non-existent right now in Steelers country.
No, Miles is funny. He said, "We suck. Fill in the blank." Oh my god. Bro said, "I hope the Jags stay in London where they go and never come back."
It was not good.
All right. So Miles, I saw this stat, and I only really saved this stat because Darian was talking mad trash on Philly, but he wanted to opt out of the trash talk because they got what's a good word for you two? They got destroyed by Buffalo on Monday night.
They did.
So I think I shared this last time, but this is an updated list. So between Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones has 64% completion percentage. T-Law has 63. T-Law has more passing yards with 2,942, while Daniel Jones has 2,502. Daniel Jones has more rushing yards in 330.
Can't wait for this turnover stat to come out.
Daniel has one more passer rating over T-Law, 85 to 84. QBR, Daniel Jones has a better QBR at 51.67. You will never guess who has more touchdowns.
Daniel Jones?
66 touchdowns. T-Law has 60.
The interceptions hit me. It's going to hit like crack.
Daniel Jones has only 2 more interceptions.
Oh, okay. I thought Trevor had more.
Daniel Jones has 42 interceptions. T-Law has 40.
Damn.
And then, and it's crazy too because under Daniel Jones's stats, it has, quote, worst quarterback ever.
Yeah.
And under T-Law's, it has generational talent.
You know what's crazy about that too?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones has been playing longer than Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
By, I want to say, 2 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
When did he get drafted? 2019.
T-Law 2019 and...
Daniel Jones 2019. T-Law 2021.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Hello. And then DE, you said check Insta, you sent something? Okay. Oh, for Bengals fans? Miles, you said build a new team. Oh, it's a stat? Okay. Miles said the Bills had a Diddy party on the Jags on Monday. We allowed to say that on the tube. I already did. So basically, Daniel Jones is the GOAT, and we need him to win the Super Bowl. No, basically. And DE, you said the Bills went extra with that baby oil on the Jags.
Oh, God.
All right, let me see what DE said. He said it was a stat.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So during the Super Bowl era, 255 teams have started 0-3. 6 of them have gone to make it to the playoffs. The last 0-3 team to make the playoffs was the 2018 Houston Texans, who had Deshaun Watson as their quarterback.
Damn, 2018.
Who started 0-3. So Bengals right now 0-3.
Yep. Bengals, Titans.
I don't think the Titans are gonna.
I wouldn't have factored them in to begin with.
Yeah, I'm not because I was sold highly on that team, but after seeing Will Levis, I'm just like, I think I may have. I think I overshot it by a lot.
we oversold them for sure. Well, I didn't think they were going to be this bad.
I mean, but then I can say the same thing about the Colts, but then I'm giving Anthony Richardson a grace period because of his injury.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like
I give him a little more leniency because, like we said last week that he's going through his rookie jitters. So I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. I think he'll figure it out.
Right.
So the only 3 0-3 teams are in the AFC: Bengals, Jaguars, Titans. Out of those teams, I don't think any of them make the playoffs.
I think the Bengals do. The only thing
I say they might because this division has the Browns at 1-2 and the Ravens at 1-2.
Right.
I could see it
sneaking
up, but I mean the Jaguars and the Titans, I don't even non-factors. Like you said, I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's crazy too because I had them third in that division, but like they're dead last.
Yeah, it's everyone else is just pretty much mid and pedestrian.
Right.
Chiefs and Bills are taking off, but
Miles, you said Ronnie. I see how you felt last year, but also the Jags go through this at least 7 times every decade, which is sad.
Yeah, they do. There's never been cohesiveness there. They get Blake Bortles and go to the conference championship, and then they start sucking for a few years. Trevor Lawrence comes in, they go to the playoffs, then they now suck again for 2 or 3 years. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you got to move them. I'm not sure.
DE, he said Titans, Jags, and Bengals. D-Hop to the Steelers or Christian Kirk?
So someone's got to blow something up.
He said you want. DE said you want draft pick Miles. I'm thinking honestly, I don't know what to do with that team. It's like
the Jags?
Yeah. Do you blow the team up? I don't think
you just worked so hard to rebuild it, and you didn't really get far. But
I feel like this has more to do with is this more of a management thing, or is it more of a quarterback thing? Is this similar to DeMar DeRozan and the Toronto Raptors? You move that one piece and that
everything
other piece
falls in. I don't know because Trevor Lawrence is an issue, but also like you said this last year, I think with Tua, like who are you going to replace him with? I don't know because
nobody.
Trevor Lawrence is a very medium pedestrian quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He is a bust considering that he was supposed to be like the next Peyton Manning generational prospect, and he's not. He's like a top 15, 20 quarterback. But yeah, I don't even know like what do you blow up? Brian Thomas Jr. is a rookie. You just drafted him. Calvin Ridley's gone. You brought in Gabe Davis. You could trade Gabe Davis, but like, oh well.
I think they just messed up in not bringing back Ridley.
Not having Ridley hurt, but like he's not even getting the ball off. Like that Bills game, he looked like, and to quote Sam Darnold, he was seeing ghosts.
I was gonna say that too because I did see a clip where.
Did you see the spin?
Yeah.
I was wondering if someone else saw that. I'm like, what are you doing?
I want to say it was a preemptive thought to where a defender was rushing, so he was like, okay, let me get out of the way. But then he realized he didn't have to do that, and then he like legit
full tuck the ball,
right.
B button spin move,
right,
and then he just is like there and just. I was like, what are you doing?
Is the Carson Wentz Doug Peterson thing happening with?
I know he was doing that for you guys. Does Doug Peterson ruin quarterbacks?
Is this a Doug EP issue?
Does Doug Peterson build your quarterback up and then break them down?
This is because that was a crazy fall off for Carson.
I do, there was
but this fall off. I mean,
I do think Miles. Correct me if I'm wrong. Doug Peterson should go at the end of the year if they finish with no more than like 6 wins. I think he should. You got to freshen it up.
Agreed.
Someone also brought up that Urban Meyer technically break Trevor Lawrence because he was the coach that had him when he came in.
But then you undo all. It's like Brian Flores and Tua.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like you finally have a coach who's like,
and then you try to correct him, and there are going to be like Trevor Lawrence. He's always made like very simple turnover mistakes and stuff like that, but I feel like you had him where you needed him.
Right.
But what happened? He's just regressed so badly.
I mean, these 2 seasons are like could be the best seasons for him because he has what he needs.
Yeah.
But he cannot get the ball off.
You have a top 10 NFL running back.
Right.
You have, like I said, Brian Thomas Jr., who looked fine the first 3 games. You had Gabe Davis, who has Big Game Dave or Big Gabe whatever in Buffalo. So you have Evan Ingram as a good tight end. Like, you don't have a lot of excuses, but you still can't play.
But with Evan Ingram being injured, then you bring in Gabe Davis, then you still got Christian Kirk, and they still have some other good wide receivers. I'm like, what's going on?
What's the issue?
But then you got your running backs sort of fumbling the ball at the end.
Yeah. Yeah,
so it can't all be T-Law.
He has to play a part in it. But I think they're just a mess in general. You could blow it up, but what do you
Right.
What are you gonna get?
I don't. And going back to that point, Miles, you said, bro, I'm taking prayers, draft picks, and XFL team anything right now. Bro said, give me the Orlando Predators over the Jags now. Mind you, that is a disband arena football team. He said our OC needs to go and our general manager, I think, needs to go first. Then if it doesn't get better, then Dougie P can go as well. Uh, DE said maybe it's because the Jags are the Jags. What has the franchise ever done? Just saying. Look, DE, I tried to tell Darian that. Bro was not trying to have it. He's on this Jags are Super Bowl bound, yada yada. And now bro don't want to, yeah. And then lastly, Miles said, strike that. The Orlando is still around, but I'll cheer for them and take that team in a Jags jersey.
It's fair.
That's tough.
It's crazy to put it in perspective. The Jaguars and the Panthers came in the league at the same time.
Yeah.
Panthers been to a Super Bowl twice.
Right. Jags has
never been.
Was at the front door. Just couldn't get past the Patriots.
They've been to 2 conference championships in 30 years.
Yep. That is a crazy drought.
Yeah.
A crazy drought. And one thing I was going to say too, with the whole replacing quarterbacks thing, the league has done a terrible job at only having one quarterback and not developing other quarterbacks. So you really can't get rid of Tua for anything. If you get rid of him, you have to drop. You're going to have to get a rookie.
I want to put this out here just since you touched on it, and I don't have to get too deep into it, but the level of quarterback play, which we've talked about, is so bad. It's so bad.
100%.
The only player, and I'm 99% sure, at least after I checked the 4 o'clock game, I think Josh Allen probably threw for more, but Andy Dalton was the only one with over 300 yards.
Yeah.
That was typically like a regular occurrence 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Now?
Andy Dalton? CJ Stroud didn't do it.
Mm-mm.
None of your big guys. Lamar didn't do it. Dak didn't do it. Jalen.
Nope.
I don't know.
And don't even get me started on that Philly game.
Oh, God.
Because I was already in here. I was about to crash out.
This compadre right over here turned it off about 10 times.
Oh, did he? He turned it back on?
Eventually.
Oh.
Jersey came off, too.
Word. I don't blame him.
I know. I clowned him for it, but I'm like, damn, I mean.
I sort of blacked out a little bit because I was in a Discord. Somebody said something, and I just like, I don't even know. I just blacked out because this team was making me that angry.
It was like watching slow motion. It was like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
It was so pedestrian.
Yes, I'm gonna tee off on that team too. Trust me, Miles. I'm not kicking your team, but I'm gonna slander my team.
Yeah, you have to.
Miles said, "Give us Fred Taylor and Maurice Jones-Drew and highlights that are about as long as Jamarcus Russell's." Oh my god!
You guys have had some very good NFL.
Oh my god! He said at least Blake Bortles was Pookie Bear at one point for the Jags.
He was a big Pookie Bear guy up there. They loved him.
Miles said Blake Bortles, Chad Henne, Blaine Gabbert have won a Super Bowl ring before the freaking Jags. My god, they all. The Jags. Yeah, the Jags are gonna be the Jags, man. Y'all know how to piece together good teams and not do jack. There's
always just something like someone didn't read the instructions fully.
Correct.
And they put it together and you're like, oh damn, we gotta take it all apart again. That's exactly the best way I can put it. Yeah.
Like, hold on, what did you do?
Why isn't this open? Oh man, we forgot the
facts. No, for real. That is the best analogy I've heard for this team.
Yeah. They're exactly the same thing. Yeah. That's it.
DE said, don't worry, it's your year. Yeah. Don't worry, Jags, it's your year. That's why every time I would go there and they would just make a big deal when they win, I'm just like, y'all stink.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not good.
We're not covered. We're not the Cowboys DE. It's never been our year. Actually, and we can actually speak about that team. We'll do teams and then updates and then all that lately. So going through this list, actually, I want to talk about Philly. I'm gonna
just get it out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get out the way because then I also want to talk about how the Texans only put up 7 points. The Vikings put up 34 on them.
This weekend they were drunk. The teams were drunk. I was like, what?
The Broncos put 26 on the Bucks.
it wasn't all Baker's fault, but like, what the hell?
And then, I mean, the Dolphins, the Panthers put up 36 on the Raiders. Okay, the fraudulent Niners let the
Rams come back.
Come on, bro. It didn't even go to OT.
Nope.
They just said, nah, bump that.
Stafford went down the field and just was like, all right.
And there were more 49ers fans in that stadium than Rams, and then they lost.
They always pan the camera, and I'm like, oh.
And then y'all started fighting each other after the game was over. And talk about how the Cowboys blew a lead, almost came back.
They did. I wasn't happy because I wanted them to win, but I was kind of like interested. I'm like, oh, I want to see it. Keep going.
I was like, no. I was like, please, God, stop.
I wanted it to go to like OT and then the Ravens still win, but I was like interested. I'm like, damn, okay.
No, for real. Yeah. Before I go off on this team, DE said it's your year at one point, but Brady happened. And Miles said in all caps, Miles Jack wasn't down.
Oh, here he goes. Was he down? Probably not, but unfortunately, we're about 7 years too late.
So since our other host is not here, I'm gonna speak for the both of us.
Yeah.
I'm be real. Philly stinks. If we do not go to the playoffs, I'm saying this now in week 4. If we don't go to the playoffs, I will not be surprised. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now. We are not playing as advertised. This team on paper is honestly supposed to be undefeated, but I don't know what it is. I don't understand why we get these Super Bowl coaches that get us there, and then seasons after the Super Bowl, we tail off. Ronnie and Devin said it last week. Get rid of Nick, and I'm seeing it now.
Well, no, keep going.
No, go ahead.
Since you just brought up Nick, because it's going to slip my mind. Mm-hmm. Devin was losing his mind over it. You left points on the field repeatedly.
Yes.
And you would have been up by a lot more.
Yes, especially because our defense literally kept us in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand. I think all of these fourth and threes, fourth and twos, fourth and ones, like these are all ego stuff.
To go for it on 4th and 5 is an ego.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
I'm like, listen, man, we're one trick pony on 4th and down. Everybody knows what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Kick the field goal. It's really frustrating to see a coach just ignorantly take his own team out of the game.
Yeah.
He is literally going to hold us back this entire season.
It's crazy.
Because of his own ineptitude.
He still presents himself like he is a Super Bowl multi-time coach of the year. All this stuff.
Bro, we lost.
Yeah.
I'm not even holding on. Like, I'm honestly glad that team was able to go to a Super Bowl because at least I can say as a fan, these guys went to a Super Bowl.
Yes.
So
it's pretty much the same team constructed. Yeah, close to it.
But we are also far removed from that. We are 2 seasons removed from that Super Bowl,
and the nostalgia of that wears off because now you go.
It's been gone.
Yeah,
it has.
After you guys lost to Tampa, I feel like in the playoffs last year, it's like okay now.
When we started 10-1 and finished 10-7, 11-6.
Yeah,
11-6. I was like, all right, this team. I'm like, throw away this team.
Yes,
I do not like what's going on.
There's no hope.
There was it was over. So now we bring in some guys. Kelsey retires. I'm just like, dude, why is it that this team looks so bad when AJ Brown is not on the field?
That too. Like offense is pedestrian, and I'm like, and you brought it up. Jahan Dotson is like non-existent. You give up a 3rd-round pick for him. You have no game plan for him in your offense.
We're throwing to literal practice squad dudes.
Brandon Covey's out there more than you're freaking Devontae. I'm like, why is Brandon Covey out here getting 2 yards per play, dropping the ball?
I'm like, why is he catching the ball? I did not get that, but I'm like, okay, where's Smitty?
Yeah.
And then he ended up getting teed off on, and then the whole report of him being spit on.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because it's Saints fans, and I was reading the comments.
Yeah.
And apparently someone on the Saints Twitter said that they were glad that he was spit on and other things that I'm not going to really say on the podcast.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's Saints fans for you. I'm not really surprised.
Spit on him of all people, not to say you should spit on anyone, but I've never heard a bad word about him.
Exactly.
in the media or as a person. So
but
I'm like, what's your beef with him?
Right, but that just shows you like that's just really how the Saints roll, and they haven't changed. So I mean, I'm gonna take the high road and not even address that because y'all lost, and I think CJ should have went into more detail of how he described it, but he said how I felt. Uh, Pretenders more than contenders.
Yeah.
To side note off that, apparently, Micah Parsons didn't like that.
Okay.
Micah, look, bro, focus on your team. Your team sucks.
1-2.
I'm not sure why bro's always worried about was like everybody else's team. Honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't even be doing the podcast this season.
No.
I get it.
I'd put the mic down.
I get it because that's y'all's thing, and it's similar like the Draymond when people were like, "Dude, you just lost. Why are you on the podcast?"
Yeah,
I understand,
smiling and laughing and stuff. But
you know, and I get that because it's just football. But at some point in time, dog, it's like this stuff has to be taken seriously. And I'm not saying you haven't taken it seriously because you play at a very high level.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, like look at where you're at. But I'm like, come on, bro, you really can't be up here talking like that, worried about what CJ said when you got CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott arguing on the field, bro.
It's
and
you have bigger issues to attend to.
You know what I mean? So you know, damn what CJ said. But all in all, Nick needs to let OC and DC coach call the plays.
Yes.
Let them do their job. Stop going for it. Stop doing these college-esque football plays where they're getting wrapped up and we're losing yardage.
Yeah.
You know,
really just questionable calls frequently from him.
But then why is it in the second half we actually start playing football? This is literally the same team from last year that we literally do like the most dumbest stuff in the first half, and then second half, oh, okay, well,
it's just coming out like you guys are hungover. I'm like,
it's hard. I'm gonna be real. It's hard for me to watch these games as a Philly fan.
I would be for me too.
It's difficult for me because I see no change.
Yeah,
we have different coaches, but we're still like Slay going down because the injury where he got pushed in the sideline. Then we had Lane going out with the concussion.
Yes.
And we had another lineman going out with a hand injury. I'm just like, all right, dude. And I literally called it too.
Yeah.
This team will only succeed as long as Jalen gets us there and injuries. And I called that.
And right after Lane got the concussion, whoever came in for him, whoever the backup was that came in, immediately sack. Gave it up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Just got blown by. Wasn't even like a contested. It was just like, oh, I'm going to get real. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so now you got an issue with the O-line. Jalen already has enough problems with turnovers. Now he's going to feel pressure. It's like, it's nuts. He does, and I don't mean to dump on him more, but Jalen Hurts does have the most turnovers since the beginning of last season.
Yeah.
Fumbles and interceptions. So
agreed.
Yeah.
So DE, that is, I mean, let's be real. We could be the 08 Lions or the 17 Browns. The case in point is those teams didn't have talent. We do.
That's.
I understand your comparison, but so could y'all because I'm be real, y'all not really playing the best either. As Ronnie alluded to, your defense is the only reason why y'all been winning games. So I genuinely could say that for both Pennsylvania teams because y'all barely won last week. But what I'm trying to say is we have talent. This is a competent team. We have we have coordinators who are supposed to do their job, but we've done everything but.
No.
That's what I'm alluding to. Miles, you said, bro, that's what I'm saying, that these dudes get dusted in the playoffs and then be on the podcast smiling.
Where's the competitive spirit?
I don't know, bro.
It's dead.
But then like dudes like us say that, you know, we shouldn't be pocket watching, we should be focused on our own lives, but I'm just like, I don't know, bro. I'm not going to hop up on a podcast if I lost.
Yeah, that wouldn't be my number one priority. What happened to, like, I'm not even going to talk to the media. F the media, I just lost. Now it's just like, it's like, dude, show me something.
They don't take sports seriously. And then, Miles, you said, pay us $2 million a year. I'll be like Kobe every season. Come on, bro. For real. Regardless of football, basketball, like, sign me a contract, bro. I'll be the hardest working player in that.
Does not matter.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's like because we know what it's like to struggle. So when we get the opportunity, we're gonna maximize it. I'm not saying they haven't as well, but I don't know. I'm not gonna be up on my podcast. I mean, I might stream a game. I don't know, but I'm not gonna be up on my podcast talking about what another man talking about.
Oh, absolutely not.
Miles also said, I mean, those two teams made it entertaining. You were excited to see when they almost won. No, that's facts. And DE said, I'm just mad I have only one ring instead of 6, like me and Ronnie. And the whole ring conversation. That's so irrelevant.
How many rings do we got, DE?
Jesus Both Christ. That ring, I don't nobody worry about your whole ring conversation. You do, I hope you realize when, what's his man's name? Mike Tomlin. You know when he retires, y'all gonna be ass, right? I'm just letting you know. Bro, want to bring up ring conversation.
God, I haven't brought up ring conversation in months.
What? See, that's why you can't argue with nobody, bro. Or many rings, you can't even have a logical conversation.
I do realize how stupid it sounds when I do it, but sometimes it's the only thing I got.
Bro says 6 rings. Man, I'll block you out this podcast. Can't even have a logical conversation. How many rings do you got? Man, I don't give a. I mean, where the rings been since?
Damn.
I'll wait. Where the rings been? How many Super Bowl appearances y'all been at? Ooh. Last time I remember y'all being in the Super Bowl, y'all. Ooh, yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna put some respect on Roethlisberger because that's my dog.
Oh, okay.
But come on, bro. After that, when's the last time? Last time y'all were in the Super Bowl, who y'all lose to? The Packers. And they haven't even been back since. Come on, man.
That's fair.
They were back in the Super Bowl. About how many times? 2-3 times after? 4. But we still got 6 rings. Yeah, that's gonna be his. Yeah, I'll wait.
Wait. 5.
But they haven't been back since. We want to talk about rings, man. Get the freak out of here. So, do you want to talk about your game, or you just want to?
I'll just spit something out there, but they let me down because we both picked the Patriots. I really thought it was gonna be a close game.
Yeah, 100%.
I swear, I was sitting there like, this is like winnable shit, and it was not.
Right,
bro, it was bad. Jacoby Brissett, 96 yards passing.
Not for real. And then
the offense makes me want to throw up. Like, I'm not even trying to exaggerate.
And then your boy Mayo said that Drake May will eventually start.
Eventually. You know what really pissed me off, and no one's probably even saw the end of the game. So the last drive, they're down. What was it, 3-26 or something like that? They put Drake May in for the last drive, just to get him, I guess, some actual game time, regular season action. He drives down the field. He goes like 60, 70 yards. A couple of nice, decent plays, whatever.
Right.
They got like 15 seconds left. They're at the 10-yard line. He gets sacked, and they have 3 timeouts, and they don't even bother to try to get Drake May a touchdown.
Oh, my God.
He gets up after he gets speared into the ground, and then he's like looking at Mayo, and Mayo takes his headset off and starts walking to the field. I'm like, yeah, don't even give the kid confidence. Let him get obliterated on the field and just say, you'll get your touchdown sometime.
Oh, my God.
Bro, I don't know how I feel about any of this. And now we're playing San Francisco. Could go decently. They are hurt.
I mean,
but
you could do more than 3 points.
I would hope we could do more than 3 points. I mean, damn. But Fred Warner's probably going to break Jacoby Brissett in half. I don't know, but that game was really disappointing. I did not think that was going to
happen. DE, if that's your following argument, bro,
oh, no.
The only thing that you're proving here is that I'm a loyalist to Philadelphia. Because you said, how them Sixers and Phillies and Flyers doing? Thank you for pointing out that I'm a loyalist. Bro, you are not winning this argument.
God.
You lost the argument as soon as you brought up rings. Because I already knew that was the stance you was taking. Thank you for telling me that I'm a loyalist. That's all you proved. The Texans getting smacked by the Vikings 34-7.
I kept checking that game thinking that the Texans were going to get up there and they never did.
Nah,
CJ Stroud looked like he was seeing ghosts.
100%.
Darnold looked like he shot up some steroids before the game.
Facts. Because I had that. I also had that game on, and oh my, one ring, and you're apparently the greatest franchise in history. You're lucky I was rooting for the Eagles beat Brady so he wouldn't reach 7. Thank you for rooting against Pennsylvania. Bro, I never said that Philly was a good quarter. I never acted like that. Everybody else did, but not me.
Yeah, I've never heard the arrogance come out of your mouth. I will say there are some people in your fan base, not Devin either, but there's some people in your fan base that would act like they've won 15. No, I'm like,
look, I know this is a struggle franchise. It's a well-known franchise, but it's been a struggle franchise. But I'm not gonna.
It's like they're just very good all the time.
Yeah,
but like great's a strong word, but they're always good.
It's like they're not one of the more. I want to say they're one of the more winningest franchise.
I would say that's fair. They're one of the most consistent. Like,
right,
you could put money on them to go to the playoffs.
Right.
They had a couple of down years in the last 20.
I mean, we had a rough slump because after Vic, that's when it was dark.
It was getting bumpy.
Yeah, it was a dark time for Philly because after Vic, then we had Nick Foles, then we had Sam Bradford, then we had Carson, and then that's when Carson came in and literally saved the franchise.
But even with Bradford, you guys were like a 500 ball club.
Barely.
It
was struggling because we had that dream team, and it was it was just putrid, honestly. But yeah. So I don't know why you're trying to pin that on me because I don't really. I know this franchise. It's a good franchise, but other than that, it's really just. I mean, we're a good playoff team, but again, it really just depends on injuries, and for some reason, it's always either the quarterback, or the coach. So. But no, I was also watching the Vikings Texans game.
Yeah,
and I was
just never got off the ground.
I
don't really know.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say because
they just got shut out.
The Vikings, I keep wanting to say, are not good, but they keep proving that they are.
I mean, they're beating good teams too.
They are. That's another thing.
I mean, besides the Giants, the Giants was a layup, but then if you go out and shut out the 49ers, and then you shut out the Texans.
You beat the 49ers and the Texans, who were both deep playoff teams.
I mean, one went to the Super Bowl, the other one playoff team. So it's like,
and what you're doing this when people were saying you were going to be like one of the worst teams in the league. You didn't have JJ McCarthy. He's hurt. Darnold comes in. It is a good story to write too. It's good. He's getting his redemption arc, but Jefferson's probably happy too. I'm sure. He's got a quarterback that's getting the ball.
100%.
So.
The Broncos beating the Bucks by a lot. Yeah, that's also I don't know. So the Bucks beat the Lions, but turn around and get slaughtered by the Broncos.
Does it make sense? No. That's what I said. This week was just it was impractical.
Yeah, it's flip flop because then Packers beat the Titans. Then the Colts beat the Bears. I think the Bears and the Titans might have the more improved rosters, but I think they might. They've been really.
They put a lot of resources in. It's not showing.
Underperforming 100%.
And the Bears O-line is trash.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Swift has not been good. The O-line has not helped him.
Right.
You have said he's an O-line merchant to an extent. When he doesn't have a good O-line, what do you get out of him?
Right.
And it's not showing right now.
Keenan Allen's still injured with that heel.
Yep.
But
surprise.
But I feel as if Caleb still can't get the ball to people. I don't know if he's either trying too hard, just his rookie year, or. And
I don't even want to chalk it up yes, there are quarterbacks that have bad rookie years, but Jaden Daniels looks like a pro right now. So why can't you do what he's doing when you were supposed to be 10 times better than Jalen? I don't know.
And you could arguably say that the Bears have a better offense than the the Commanders.
They have Scary Terry, and then after that, it kind of drops off. And Brian Robinson Jr. to hand the ball off. That's better.
I mean, then Austin Eckler just got hurt.
Yeah, concussion. So the Bears got Adunze.
Mm-hmm.
They have Keenan Allen when he's healthy. DJ Moore,
Cole Kmet,
running back DeAndre Swift.
Yep.
So they have a lot more pieces, and he might turn it around. And it's still early, but it's a little surprising because I'm thinking Jaden Daniels was supposed to be the second best, and he's clearly been the best quarterback. So I don't know how it's going to end, but
agreed.
Yeah.
DE said the script was written well this year. This is a weird script.
Yeah, you got Sam Darnold and MVP conversations through the first 3 weeks.
I mean, because no one really thought highly of Buffalo, and they're leading the division right now.
I absolutely shit on them to begin this year.
Yeah,
I didn't think they lost a lot, and they're putting up more points without Diggs.
Yeah,
does that tell you something?
Yeah,
they're putting up more points without Diggs.
I was just thinking that too.
Yeah. Whose fault is that?
Yeah,
the ball is getting distributed evenly.
Yeah,
Shakir's getting touchdowns.
Yep.
Kincaid's getting touchdowns. I don't know. I'm just something to throw out there.
I agree.
Yeah.
But then the Bengals are like 0-3. They lost to the Commanders. Chiefs again, they're 3-0, but they're not looking like a good 3-0 team.
No, realistically, without some of these penalties at the end of the game, they could be 0-3.
Honestly, because I saw that pass interference call that wasn't called.
The Falcons one?
Yep.
Yes.
That was, but then the Bengals one was called.
Yeah. And the Falcons one, to me, was a little more obvious because his whole body was turned around.
Correct.
The other one, he came up from behind him.
Correct.
Contact. This one, not playing the ball, just...
Right.
Yeah.
No call.
Hug.
At all.
First game, Isaiah Likely's barely out of bounds. Second game was the pass interference call, and the third game was a non-call. So, yeah, they're not a good at 3-0 team.
Yeah, they're definitely getting by on some of these late game calls that are game changing.
And let's talk real quick. The elephant in the room. Travis Kelce, is he done?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it's he just has that look like he's defeated.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna get I think what they're gonna do is figure out a game plan for him to not overwork him, but they'll use him in big games, and he might get whatever's gas left in the tank, spewed out. But I don't think we're gonna see domination.
Oh, and I'll get to that point because DE said I did mention before the season that they have gotten better without Diggs. If you remember that, we were talking about it. Yeah, we remember.
There were people that were mentioning it. Yeah,
and then Miles said, I think we can all agree. We all said Caleb paint my fingernails Williams was gonna be something. It didn't surprise me. Jaden Daniels is balling over him.
Yeah, agreed.
And DE also said he went to the University of Spoiled Children. I said it before the season, Miles.
Yeah.
So I was also reading that too because they were talking about Travis Kelce is basically he should have packed it up.
Yeah.
Someone brought up a good point saying that defenses are really scheming against him very well now.
Yeah.
Because he did run off he did have a very good season last season.
He did, so it's not the drop off usually doesn't happen that
right.
Quick,
and it's crazy too because they have a better offense now than last season, but his performance has dipped, but they're also spreading the ball around and running it more, even though as Isaiah Pacheco is injured.
Yes.
I think defenses are definitely scheming against them better, which alludes to when you said that we're used to seeing over 300-something yards.
Yeah.
And the top guys aren't throwing.
Yes.
For those yards anymore.
I would kill for it. I don't care which quarterback it is. Mm-hmm. Someone just put up big numbers. I mean, the big throws are not there. Anthony Richardson has the arm for it, but obviously the accuracy is a little wonky. I mean, I need someone to make big plays because, these checkdowns and these 150, 200-yard passing games are, boring.
I think we're seeing, because honestly, the highest scoring game of the week was the Jacksonville. The Jags and the Bills. But besides that, the second highest scoring was Panthers at 36 points.
And then I think you're going to get
the Commanders, Bengals.
That's kind of the games I want. There were no punts.
I'm thinking that a lot of these teams got better defensively. I want to say, I don't think it has anything to do with the kickoff, but I really want to say overall these defenses are starting to slowly come back into the league.
I would agree. I think the defense has a lot to do with it, but also there must be a lot of schemes from offensive coordinators that are just not good because if these defenses are doing this, then you should be able to counteract. I don't know if there's just not enough people with the mental genius to do it, but
I think that is a good point too, because I mean the Ravens game they ran off on them and then they came back, so I think that's just more so. I think it's just guys really just trying to adjust on the fly. But then what about you got the Texans game. They just didn't adjust. They couldn't. Yeah. They could not do anything virtually.
Whatever they tried to do did not work.
Right. So I want to. I don't think defense may or may not come back, but I think this may just be a lot of good schemes that are just working, and maybe everyone's still getting a feel for. Or maybe it's just still early in the season.
It could be. That's to jump to conclusions right away. It's kind of hard, but
right. That's why I was, because I've been still wanting to do like our predictions and everything. But I'm just like, I've been wanting to call stuff since like week 2, but it's still.
I do. What is the word? I guess overreact to a lot of this stuff because I'm saying I could say right now that Will Levis is like the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
It's not 100% true, but.
That might be
that one's hard.
Honestly, well, because I could say that right now. That could honestly be Trevor Lawrence.
It could be Trevor too. Yeah, it's crazy that 2 of them are in the NFC South. AFC South.
Mm-hmm. So right now, just going through, we both had this Patriots winning. They lost.
Yep.
Jets won. I had Browns winning this game.
I also, what was it? I had Patriots. They lost. Browns, yes.
Yeah, they lost. Did you have?
I had the Saints.
Okay, so Philly won. I have Philly.
Okay.
I believe we had the Texans.
Yes, we did.
They lost. We had the Bucks.
Yes, we did.
They lost. You had.
I was on crack when I did this. I took the Titans. I don't know why I did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we're going over week 3 picks, and then we'll do week 4 picks, and then we'll go into some of the topics in the that happened previously. DE. So Packers. I actually had the Packers.
I thought you did because I remember someone had the Packers. I'm like, oh, I'll take the. I guess I must just take the Titans. Different, yeah.
Cool. So I had the Packers. Bears, Colts. I had the Colts.
I had the Colts too.
Got it. And Chargers, Steelers. I had the Chargers.
I took the Steelers. Surprisingly, I think I thought the defense was going to.
No, for real. Yeah, for real. I took them too. Seahawks, Dolphins.
Seahawks. Yeah.
Panthers, Raiders. I took the Raiders.
Oh, I would have not.
Did Devin take the Panthers? I think
did he? He probably did. I think. Yeah.
I think he took.
Was that his crazy one of the week?
No, I think. Or I want to say he took the Panthers. No, I think it was all agreed for the Raiders. I want to say, crap.
He took one obscure team.
I think.
It might not have been that game though. I'm not sure.
Or maybe it was the Chargers Steelers pick.
Could have been that one.
Because.
Could have also been the 49ers Cardinals game. Or the 49ers Rams. I'm not sure.
Actually, it could be one of those. We'll find out. We'll find out next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Panthers, Raiders, and Panthers won. 49ers, Rams, I took the 49ers.
I did too. I really just didn't think it was going to.
The fraudulent Niners. Lions, Cardinals.
I took the Cards.
Same.
I really thought they were going to take it. It was close to an extent.
Right.
Yeah.
Ravens.
I took the Ravens.
Ravens, Cowboys, Ravens. And then Chiefs, we all took the Chiefs.
We took the Chiefs.
We already knew.
Yeah.
Bills, Jags, took the Bills. Devin had the Jags.
Yes. Yeah.
And then lastly, the Commanders, Bengals.
Took the Bengals.
Same.
Yeah, I really.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. All right. Let me see real quick. With my pod this year, food gift card is on the line for the winner. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. You're doing picks with your podcast this year. Oh, okay. Food gift. Oh, okay. Nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's cool. Nice. So real quick, let's do week 4.
Okay.
And then we'll get into some because we'll still talk about the Cowboys, and then we'll talk about what happened this past week.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we'll just do it quick. Okay, so Thursday night games tomorrow. We have Cowboys Giants.
Yeah.
This I don't want to take the Giants and then they get worked, but then the Cowboys.
I don't think lightning's going to strike twice for the Giants. I don't.
But I mean,
can you see the Cowboys at 1-3? I just can't. Just can't see it.
I can, but just if it wasn't the Giants,
I know.
If it wasn't the Giants,
any other team, I think they're a little rocky right now. Would come in and just knock them
out.
But the Giants, I just don't think got the power to do it.
I mean, because they. This is.
I would have put a little respect on the Giants' name. If you would have told me to watch this game like a week and a half ago, I would have said, "Damn, this thing's gonna suck." Right. I'm a little interested. I'm intrigued.
So. They put up 18 against the Commanders and lost.
Yep.
They put up 21 against the Browns and won.
I will say 18 is not going to beat the Cowboys. 21.
But it's better than their week 1 performance
the Vikings.
6 points.
Yeah, that wasn't good. It's trending correctly.
Right, but I mean the Cowboys have always had their number, but right now, I mean, because both teams stink.
Yeah.
They reek.
Don't see these teams going far in any facet of the playoffs or anything. I will take the Cowboys. I just don't think the Giants will do it.
DE said he's going Cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, and this is at the Giants.
Okay.
Know it?
You go Giants? Oh, I know Devin would have gone. Yeah, Devin would have gone Giants.
Yeah, too. I'm going Big Blue. I'm going Big Blue. I might regret it, but hey, with these teams right now, they are just not looking.
We will all root for the Giants. Yeah. Well, you would root for the Giants. I would assume. You have to, right? Yeah. Any team but the Cowboys.
100%. Miles is also going with the Giants as well.
Okay.
Then we have our Sunday game. Bengals Panthers. Andy Dalton is coming
Let me
back.
tell the people something. They need to listen to this. This might be the lock of the week. Andy Dalton against his old team. I wish I was joking. I wish I was joking.
Yo.
The Bengals being 0-4 sounds impossible. But Andy Dalton against the Bengals? Give me that one. Lock of the week. Bam, I'm locking it in. Panthers win.
Oh my gosh. Yo. Woo, shoot.
And they're playing in Cincinnati, I believe.
No, they're playing in Carolina.
Okay.
Playing in Carolina.
I don't think.
Oh, man. So.
This is a script. This is definitely a script kind of game. Who would have thought?
I'm not going to lie, fam. Hold up. Miles, you said Daniel Jones is about to be in the GOAT conversation. if they beat the Cowboys.
Oh, he might. They're going to build a statue for him.
Oh, they're going to go.
They wanted him freaking executed 2 weeks ago. But
oh, yeah. Now they're all Daniel Jones stands again.
Yeah. If he beats the Cowboys, that will be the fakest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, we love you, Danny Dimes.
So, I'm going to go off the grid, man. I don't think they go 0-4.
That's the only thing that was holding me back. But I'm not going against Andy Dalton.
I don't think this team, because this team will crash the hell out.
The stadium will probably collapse if they're 0-4.
Thank God they're not at home. But after that loss against the
yeah,
because they lost from Washington at home.
Yeah, to a rookie quarterback.
I don't have this team going 0-4. I know they're like slow starts as hell, but no, I'm sorry.
It just doesn't. This one seems a little more abnormally slow than any.
Right.
I
mean, I can understand the robbery game, but nah, I'm sorry. So DE, he actually agrees with you. He said I might have to agree. Give him the Panthers.
Yeah.
I just don't think.
Can't believe I'm saying that, but
I just don't think this team goes 0-4.
I think that's the only thing that kind of leaves me with my eyebrow raised. Right. But I think Andy Dalton's kind of got this offense clicking.
Now this is also an interesting game. We have the Saints and Falcons.
This is an interesting game.
I've been dogging both these teams,
and they're really not terrible. I mean, the Saints look like I said, 07 Patriots. Mm-hmm. Last week they cooled off because they played a good defense, and then the Falcons have been toe-to-toe. They beat you guys, and they almost beat the Chiefs.
Off of a penalty call.
Off a penalty. They really should have. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I think the Saints will bounce back this week, but
I think. I mean, because the Falcons have a good defense.
Yeah.
Will they stop Kamara? I mean, we ended up going off for over 100, but that's Saquon. And
Yes.
we're a good running team. Damn, I can't choose no more. I was dogging this team. I was literally dogging the Saints.
Isn't it crazy?
And now they're competent. But if I go with them, I'm going to seem fake as hell because I was dogging them.
Stick with the guns.
I low-key want to, you know what? I'm going to keep that same energy. I'm going to go with the Falcons.
I respect it.
I'm going to go with the Falcons because I was dogging this team. DE said Falcons.
Okay.
Texans, Jags. I mean, that's a given. I'm not going to lie. Unless both teams put up a donut.
Unless the Texans got something we don't know about and they suck this week too.
Right. I'm going with the Texans.
Also, could I take that back. I was going to say, can the Jags be 0-4, but they can't be.
Oh, 100%.
The way they're playing right now, they can't be.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, with him literally seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
Against that pass rush?
And also the Texans are going to play pissed off. They just got embarrassed against Minnesota.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You think CJ's going to go out like that?
No. I don't believe so.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is actually an interesting one. Let's see. Oh, CJ bounced back, and Miles picked the Falcons. The Jags are gonna absolutely win. The spread. Oh, they're gonna win the spread, but not sucking it up. Give me the Texans. Nah, bro had me in the first half.
I heard that. I was like, what?
No, because he said the Falcons are gonna absolutely win, and there was his second comment didn't come in. I was like, hold on, what?
Hold on.
So next one. We have. Oops. Okay. So next one. This is actually an interesting one. Broncos Jets.
It is interesting.
So I'm gonna go two very good defenses. Well, not top 10 defenses, but very.
Here's what's confusing about the Broncos is I overhyped them to start the season.
Right.
They started their first two games off like trash.
Mm-hmm.
They looked a lot better this past weekend. Mm-hmm. So it's just the real Broncos team that just played the Buccaneers.
I sort of want to say that was a one-off.
I think it could be. Bo Nix looked a little better too.
I mean, but Bo Nix is going up against a better defense.
He is.
Even though the Bucs defense is good.
The Jets defense has always been
right. So I'm honestly, I think the Jets find their way.
I think they do too. Rodgers is playing a little too well for me right now to take a bet against him.
Right. DE also said the Jets.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. I think it could be, but yeah, I think the Jets got it.
And this is also another interesting game. This is a rivalry game of the backup quarterbacks that has been doing the damn thing. We got the Vikings and the Packers.
Oof.
So I know we were dogging Malik Willis. He has arisen with this team. He is actually getting this team. I mean, in surprisingly fashion. Not gonna,
like actually good stats too. Not even like getting carried. He's holding his weight.
I mean, because yes, they went up against the Titans, put up third. I mean, yes, I understand it's the Titans, but I mean, they won in convincingly fashion against the Colts.
They did
10-16, but hey, he did enough to get them to dub.
Yeah. He's just biding time until Love comes back. He's doing a good job. I will take the Vikings on this one. Yeah.
Same.
I think they go 4-0, which is insane.
Same. Which is actually crazy because Sam Darnold has finally picked up the phone, as Gino said. And yeah. He
ain't right back.
Right.
Yeah. He's playing well. All the old Jets quarterbacks are playing well, which is funny. But yeah, I think the Vikings will win.
Now we have the Steelers and the Colts. I'm just gonna go Steelers just off of defense alone, and I think Anthony Richardson will have a difficult day trying. It's not that he won't be able to establish the offense. Again, I still give him that grace period because of his injury.
I do, yeah.
And I know this is his first actual season, so I expect him to go up against a savvy veteran defense, and I give him Steelers.
I think I'm going to go upset here and say Colts.
You think
I think Richardson actually, which might not make a lot of sense. I think he has a big day.
Right.
This defense is very good, but I think he has a big day. Goes off for, say, 2-3 touchdowns. I think they win.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Got you. Rams Bears. I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah.
It's just
they're like held together by duct tape. They're missing Puka and Cooper, but
I mean, I'm just not seeing enough from the Bears right now for just the win because again, they barely won against the Titans. In the past 2 games are just. I mean, they could have came back against the Texans, and they just got.
That was just mismanaged. Yeah, lack of experience
in a late game comeback against the Colts, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So
and that Titans game, I would argue too. I say this sometimes, but I don't even think they won it. I think Will Levis lost the game. So,
agreed.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams.
Philly Bucks. Of course I'm gonna go with Philly, but we'll barely win that game as well.
I will go with Tampa. No disrespect. I don't think this happens to them 2 weeks in a row. I don't.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I'll be real. I can see them putting up a lot of points on us.
I think they'll come out firing. I think they were probably embarrassed what happened last week.
Yeah.
Baker gets cocky and gets a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So. I mean, and he has all the confidence now because they beat us in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Easily. Yeah.
And I mean, it's more so a different team. But
yeah. Still, he's going to come out firing, I think.
Yep.
That's going to be a good game, though.
Agreed. I want to keep other games on, but I'll definitely have this game on. It depends on what they show because I really don't want to watch. No disrespect, Miles. I'm not really trying to see any televised Jags games. And then they might throw up. Oh, they'll probably have Philly on TV. Okay, cool. Never mind.
Yeah, because they have Tampa. Yeah.
So I'll probably just have I might have the Saints game up or something. Saints Falcons. Or Vikings. Patriots 49ers. Sorry, Ronnie, I'm gonna go with 49ers. Fraudulent Niners.
I can't take the Patriots again. I've took them 3 weeks in a row. They've only won 1.
Right.
I just don't see it.
Cardinals, Commanders. I'm still gonna roll with the Cards on this one. I think the Commanders go up against the savvy defense, not a well-known defense, but he did. Bengals really don't have a good defense.
This game is also kind of hard to call.
Yeah, it's a little hard to gauge.
They're really unpredictable. The Cardinals keep knocking at the door. They just don't get over the hump.
Right.
The Commanders are picking up steam right now.
Right.
I will take the Cardinals, but
agreed. Okay. So then we have the Chiefs, Chargers. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Only because of ref ball.
Derwin James gets suspended for 1 game. Yeah. Magically, who are they playing? Chiefs.
Yep.
Crazy.
Coincidence? You be the judge.
Yeah.
Browns, Raiders. This is a pretty disappointing season so far for the Browns.
It is.
I feel like anybody else at quarterback could do the damn thing.
Absolutely.
I think
we saw that last year.
I think that Deshaun Watson's fall off should be studied.
It should be. Someone literally said there is a tweet. I'll screenshot it and send it in the chat when I find it again. As when he was going through the allegations and stuff, and he got traded to
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. Someone tweeted and they were like, "What if he forgot how to play football?" And everyone in the comments is like, "You jackass, you idiot. That's funny. What are you talking about?" He was being legit, and he legit forgot how to play football.
Agreed.
He doesn't throw. He doesn't move the same way. He gets sacked.
Did something happen throughout what he was going through for him to just...
I think the stuff that happened... I mean, obviously the stuff that came up around him with his name, I think it's played a large factor in it, but it's just weird how you still don't go out there and play.
I mean, we're literally talking about 2 different people.
Yes.
I mean, from Texans, then... He was suspended that season to next season when he came back because I know they were going through some controversy with the quarterback. And I mean, I understand shaking off the rust, but and then he was injured towards the end of last season.
Yeah.
So I get it. You haven't really had a full season.
But the rust at this point, it's eating holes in the body. It's over.
I mean, what's what's really keeping him from doing like I don't know this. I feel like this is the stuff that needs to be spoken about more because again, like Carson Wentz,
yeah,
like,
same thing.
The fall off.
What happened? How do you forget how to play football?
I mean, like what affected you so greatly to where like you were just non-existent at the quarterback.
Different players, like you said, you can't even tell the difference. You can't even tell the same player.
Like they're not like. Either it's like career change, like altering, life changing. Like, are these the same people?
It very well could be mental. Like I said, he could have a guilty conscience for what he did. It could be not to be like outside spiritual stuff. It could be karma.
Right.
It could just be that they don't want him to succeed, so he's forgot how to play football. I don't know what it is, but it is crazy.
I feel like that needs to be talked about a lot more.
It does. It'll get dropped in, but like somebody's have a full on like, how do you forget how to play football?
No, for real.
When you're here, top 5 quarterback, and now you're top 25.
But honestly, I'm glad that we do this because we've been addressing the gray areas since we started.
Yes,
and I feel like that will be a good niche for us because I mean these are general things that we like that just gets overlooked. But
you got to say something.
But I'm just like, dude, like these are changing people's lives.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like
and I don't want to be like favoritism, whatever. I really don't mind that it's happening to him. I think it's funny. I think he deserves it because I think a lot of that stuff that came out, like I said, I'm not trying to be too opinionated because we try to keep that separate. But if any of that stuff was true, then good riddance. But it is like we said, it's just strange. I'm like, you got paid all this money. Maybe that's another thing. Maybe he got paid the money and he just doesn't have the desire to play anymore.
Well, he got paid in Houston, and then he was just balling.
He was still good. We got a new extension, I think, when he got to Cleveland. Did he? Or was that still the Texans' money?
I think it was still Texans.
Is it still the Texans' money? Yeah, because I think that was like a 5 or 6 year contract. It was something big.
No, it was a super max.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just it's bizarre though.
Oh, Miles said, no disrespect, I'm not watching the Jags, Sean. I'll be watching reruns of Painting Adventures of Bob Ross than watching the Jags. That
might be better.
Honestly.
Bob Ross is more peaceful than the Jags.
Facts.
Yeah.
To finish off the last 4 games, so we did Browns versus Raiders.
Who do you got?
I've been trying to pick the Raiders for the past 3 weeks, and they've just been selling. But the Browns at the same time, I don't know. Honestly, I'll go with the Raiders just because the Browns, I don't know, both defensively, they just haven't been looking good.
I'll go Browns just to change it, but I thought they were going to put in Aiden O'Connell this week, but still going to keep Minshew.
Now, Sunday night game, Bills Ravens. I'm going to go with Bills.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
I will go.
It's tough. I mean, Ravens are because Ravens have always had bad starts, and then they've gotten it together.
It's gonna be a shootout.
But I mean, the Bills right now, I'm gonna roll with the hot hand.
I'll go Bills.
And shout out to Damar Hamlin for his first
interception. I know, good for him. No, it was cool.
And then we got 2 Monday night headers.
Why? I don't know.
Again, yeah, this honestly could have been a Sunday night slot.
Yes.
Or they could have put the Bills at Sunday, kept it like that, and moved the Dolphins Titans to 1 o'clock or 4.
Or like put a game on Friday night and give us something. I mean, I don't know.
They did that for the Eagles and
they did.
Packers. So,
yeah.
But just don't throw it on no freaking Peacock.
Yeah, don't do that again.
God. So for this game, I'm just gonna go with the Titans for the Titans Dolphins.
Oh, absolutely. They still don't even know who's gonna be their quarterback on Monday.
And this game, I will actually be watching the Seahawks and Lions. I will roll with the Lions.
Yeah, I'll go with the Lions as well. Since you brought up the Titans and Dolphins, can we talk about how incompetent the Dolphins organization is?
How they can't get a quarterback.
So you have a quarterback. Someone brought this up. You have a quarterback, one of the more injury-prone quarterbacks in the league, multiple concussions, 1 concussion away from maybe never playing again, and your backup is Skylar Thompson.
Yep.
And you knew he sucked because he's played meaningful games before and has sucked, and you put no contingency plan in place. And now you got Tyreek Hill, who you're paying $250 million to, had like 3 catches for 30 yards because no one can get him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's just incompetent. It's crazy. I mean,
I think that's more so just how the league has structured its teams and how it's became more quarterback centric now.
Yeah.
Because again, and I feel like I said this too with basketball. What pissed me off with basketball is if your head player, your star player was injured, for some reason that whole team was just bad.
Yeah.
And so what upset me was just watching, like, especially on primetime games when these dudes are playing, oh, well, Kawhi's out. All right, well, why is PG in here and he's still stinking it up?
Just because Kawhi's out. It doesn't make sense. And, like, someone even brought up the point, they're like, why don't they just run the Wildcat?
At that point.
With no quarterback, because Skylar Thompson can get him the ball.
Right.
Put Tyreek Hill out there for, like, 2 drives, and then put Jalen Waddle in there, and then put A-Chain, and get Mostert. I mean, you got enough guys out there that are quick.
Right.
At that point, it's better than having Skylar Thompson at quarterback. Exactly. But it's so
agreed.
It's ignorant. It's an ignorant decision by them to not have a contingency plan in place when you have an injury-prone quarterback.
Yep. And honestly, I blame the league for that. I blame the league for making it like 1-star quarterback and like just bad backups.
Yes.
Like at all, and like not developing anybody outside of your starters,
no.
And then getting rid of vets, and then like how they were not trying to get Joe Flacco out the league, but like nobody wanted to sign him.
Yeah.
And then he come back in, and then the Browns signed him.
It was just funny that like last year Skylar Thompson's playing games and Flacco's on the couch.
Right.
You have to know that Flacco's better than him. You have to.
But since he's old,
then you write him off. And it's like, even what blows my mind is that Ryan Tannehill's sitting at home, and I'm not trying to say he's great anymore.
He would be more serviceable back in Miami right now. I would trust that he would be able to get the ball where it needed to be.
You could write him like a kindergarten playbook because he hasn't played in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And just to get him the ball to Tyreek.
Right.
Screens, check downs, slants, whatever you want to do, and let them handle the rest of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Throw the ball 5 yards and let them go.
Right.
But Skylar Thompson can't even do it.
And Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle. I'm like sitting here like this, just looking at the TV, and I look down at my phone, and I hear Tim Boyle, and I go,
yeah.
He's doing what?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I agree. Bad quarterback play, bad signings by teams. Just, as you said, no contingency plans.
Nope.
And just, it's horrible all around. And that's what the league has become.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, it genuinely sucks, like, watching some of these games, especially on primetime.
Yes.
And nobody, like, your starter is out.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to watch now.
And not only that, and this is going to sound maybe a little wonky, but then it screws with, like, the fantasy football aspect.
It does.
Because people drafted, like, Tyreek Hill in the first round.
Yep.
And a lot of the drafts. He's getting, like, 3 or 4 points because he doesn't have a quarterback.
Dude, imagine everybody who drafted CMC.
Which we haven't talked about that. I don't know if you're going to touch on that.
No, we were, because I still want to talk about
a couple of the news things.
Oh, no. We're going to bump the news at this point. Because still want to talk about the Cowboys, and then we'll talk about the 49ers, and then we'll just talk about how it'll just affect the just the weeks to come.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
But no, I agree.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad signings. It's bad decision making on all fronts. And to be honest, I don't see this not
getting better.
No, at all. It's just going to get worse. Mm-hmm. Then we're just going to have bad quarterbacks that barely developed, i.e., Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
he's going to come in and they're just going to lose us games, and that's just going to be it.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett should not be a backup in the league. Kenny Pickett at this point should. I mean, a third string, fine, but like. I would probably take Bailey Zappi over him.
But now, the whole drafting of Michael Penix Jr. looks smart on the Falcons' part.
It does. Because you do have a 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury.
Right.
If he got hurt again, you know you have a competent quarterback.
Exactly. Versus the Dolphins. I mean, at this point, I think all teams should do that. I mean, get who you need to be, but get who you need to get, and then also get a quarterback.
I get that you're not wanting to put a high draft pick or anything in a backup for Miami because you have Tua who's like 26 years old. He's got the big contract, but like injury prone. Right. He goes down a lot, and you were stuck with Skylar Thompson in a playoff game against Buffalo last year. He does not cut it. He's not good. So now you are going to suck. This season's a wash.
Yeah.
3 weeks into it, you're done. So.
Yeah. And then Miami fans are talking out the side of the necks, but I'm just like, dude, like, Your organization is literally set you up to fail so many times.
They should be mad at their own organization, not anyone else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't set them up right, and now they're screwed.
Yeah, so there's no future plan. They're going to lose a lot of games.
They're going to lose a lot of games. Yeah. These are teams are going to lick their lips at this.
Yeah.
That's a walkover team.
Yeah, this is just it's free eats for anybody who plays the Dolphins.
It is.
And now you're gonna think about like long term. It's like okay, like are you mentally like okay, is this gonna be a wash season?
What do you do?
Or do you want to bring Tua back in? Hopefully, can salvage the season
and get something out of it. The only thing that I bring up is like what? So they're 1-2. So let's say Tua is obviously not going to come back in the next couple weeks.
Correct.
What if they're like 2-6, 2-7? I wouldn't bring Tua back. Just wash it out. Mm. But your window is also short because you have Tyreek Hill, who at some point age is going to catch up to him.
He also, I mean, because I know he's been flirting with the idea of retirement.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play past his new contract or the contract he's on currently.
So it's like what. He's on, I want to say maybe 2 more years or 1 more
I would say 2. I think he's probably got 1 more full after this, and then after that, he's done. So
now you got 2 years.
And
Raheem is getting up there. I know he's a little bit older.
A-Chain's he's going to be there for a while. He's a very good running back.
Right.
Waddle, he's fine. You just paid him a big contract. Mm-hmm. He can't even get the damn ball. What are you doing?
So, yeah, they just really put themselves in. They really just they set themselves so far back and crazy. It's all started just around Tua.
Yeah.
So that honestly just means that they just never had a plan to begin with, and they just didn't expect all this to happen.
Yes.
So
it makes Tua look a little better because I'm like, damn, you can't just put anyone in that offense.
Right.
But I mean, even like when Mac Jones is available, you didn't think to grab Mac Jones? Who absolutely is better than Skylar Thompson.
But at the time, nobody was looking to sign him because he was an honorary quarterback who didn't really seem like he would fit in the locker room.
The only thing with Mac that I think about, I'm like, that Alabama connection, they played at Bama together. It would have made a little sense. I feel like he would have been comfortable being behind him.
Right.
Still being in Florida, close to home. But, yeah, it's like they didn't have a contingency plan. They look stupid now, and you've wasted a whole season.
Right.
So,
agreed.
Good riddance.
So going to the next point, we'll just talk about just the main topic. So Cincinnati and the Cowboys. We'll start with Cincinnati first. What do they do from here? So you still haven't signed Jamar Chase. You still haven't signed T. Higgins.
I would almost guarantee T. Higgins is gone. Like the way the season started with him not wanting to play the first 2 games, I don't think they're too pressed to get him signed.
Their defensive lineman as well. I'm sorry, I forget his name. The defensive end.
Trey Hendrickson, yeah.
Who originally wanted a trade, and then they shut down conversations on that.
Trent Brown just went out for the season. Who else?
Disaster at running back.
Joe Burrow has been a nickname merchant. He has not done much. He's rode the coattails of that 1 Super Bowl appearance.
I still don't understand how other teams are building offensive lines or attempting.
Yeah.
And they haven't addressed this one.
No.
At all.
The league does have an offensive line problem. There's a lot of teams.
A lot. And which is crazy because we'll watch the drafts and we'll be like, O-line.
And then, these are big, like 6'8", 6'9" dudes. And I'm like, damn, this dude's a tower. And then he comes in and sucks.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how to use his hands. He's getting pushed to the side. I'm like.
So I'm thinking it got to just be bad O-line. It has to be bad O-lineman coaches.
It has to. And the technique is everything. Because there's no way you can tell me that a dude that's 6'8", that has any athletic ability, can at least be a serviceable guard or tackle.
I mean, just letting defenders
just come on in,
roll by and make the sack.
Joe Alt has played really well this year. He's allowed, I think, 1 sack, which was the T.J. Watt in the 3 games he's played in. So he's a good example. I mean, the Chargers got him. He's worked out well. But then the rest of the O-lines, like, you need 5 people on that line to really hold up their end of the deal.
Agreed.
So the Bengals are in, for lack of a better word, shit. I don't think it's going to get better. I don't think it does because, I mean, they're going to have to play they're going to have to play the Steelers twice. That's a good defense you're going to have to go up against. Ravens. Lamar is going to cook them.
They might. I can honestly see them splitting the series with Cleveland.
I could see that too. They've had problems with Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean split. Yeah, because I mean, as far as I know, like Jamar has always been. I don't know why this chair is sinking constantly, but Jamar has always made comments about losing the L's, and for the past 2 or 3 seasons, as far as I can remember, they've had their number lately.
Yep.
So
I don't. Like I said, I don't think it's going to get better, and you have to start wondering what do they do. Because they're gonna have to, like I said, I would pay Jamar Chase. You're not gonna get someone better than him.
I would lock Higgins. I'd lock Dre Hendrickson. I would lock
Chase up.
Chase. I mean, you got to because
you do.
I mean, because are any of them looking into the draft? Because to me, this team is like they look into the draft, but it's not like they're making any big trades.
No,
at all.
No.
So either they're getting a lot of the people through free agency.
They drafted Chase and Higgins. That worked out.
Right.
Obviously, though, when you draft a bunch of good players and they work out, they all do want to get paid. So you run into the same thing with the 49ers, right? Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I just don't think it's going to get better. I mean, they lost to the Patriots and they lost to the Commanders. Those teams are not supposed to be penciled in to be good.
Correct.
So you're going to play really good teams and you're not going to be able to do it. So,
right.
Yeah.
So do we look at the head coach at all, or is he more so overlooked, or do we just rehaul?
He's got to get some flack. I did see a video on this past Monday. That team looked like they wanted to go to bed coming out of the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Your coach has got to get you motivated before you go out.
Your quarterback too.
The helmet's dragging on the ground. Their shoulders are slumped. No one's running. There's like 2 people running.
Dude, as bad as Philly's been playing, this team shows a lot more heart.
They do, and they actually care about each other this year. I was like, wow, they care, wow.
Because Jalen has stepped up. Because I know he heard that. CJ came in, sparked this defense up.
Someone gets hit on the sideline, they come to them.
Jalen Carter has been not replaced, taken over Fletcher. I think he's taken over Fletcher's role. But he's been more. I've been seeing him a lot more vocal now. Like this team, like this defense, and I think it's from the coach as well. This defense looks so much better.
100%.
So it's like not seeing that from the Bengals. I'm like, it's either the coach, is your quarterback.
It could be Joe too.
I mean, because from the game, Joe doesn't look the same.
No.
So. I'm thinking too. It has something to do with the coach or internally.
There's something going on. I think there's something going on in the locker room. I think there's definitely unhappiness. There's people that want contracts, like you said,
and it doesn't help that they're 0-3.
Yes, 100%
at all.
And I shudder to think. I'm like, what if he never went to the Super Bowl that year? Then, like, do we even have anything to go off his resume? Because yes, he did go to the Super Bowl, but
he wouldn't have anything to go off his resume, but him going to the Super Bowl, like, I know, like, truly, I want to say, actually, I can't say that anymore because that window, I want to say that window sparked before the Kansas City stuff, but I truly don't see them going back to the Super Bowl.
I don't see it.
With Kansas City going back and, like, back to back to back.
They got to get through some good teams, and this team's not good enough to do it.
Not at all.
And Joe Burrow is not as young as people think he is.
He's 27, 28?
27 or 28, which is, I mean, not old, but...
I mean, but luckily in this league, you can at least play till like 35, 36.
He could play at a high level till then. I worry about him, though. He is injury prone. So that's another thing you got to watch. The ACL, his ankle, his wrist.
So that does shorten your career, at least, you know.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, he brought back some time at least because he got injured earlier.
He did, yeah.
So he had the rest of the season to sit out and recoup.
Figure it out, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great quarterback. I'm not trying to slander him, but the team just has like this negative energy about it. Yeah, that's a negative aura about it.
And honestly, I'm one of those dudes. I like when I'm watching football. You could just feel it.
Yeah,
you just feel it watching.
You just watch the team. You're like, they kind of.
Yeah, like something's just off.
No, yeah,
just a bad feeling about.
And you could just tell right away, like the Bengals Patriots game. The Patriots, they got me so excited because I'm like, I felt it. I felt like they cared about each other. They wanted to win. And the Bengals, I'm like, ugh. They seem like they're just.
I feel like they just felt slighted and disrespected because they may have felt like they were the better team.
Yeah.
And then they lost, and that probably just from there they just haven't.
And they haven't responded
at all.
They don't respond
at all.
I was thinking after they lost to the Patriots, I'm like, they'll come out and be like, okay, we got to get in gear. They didn't care.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
And then lastly, our last topic, bro, because this will definitely take us well over.
Yeah.
Cowboys. I mean, I guess I got to come out and say, yeah, it's the Browns. Because, I mean, you beat the Browns week one. I mean, but Deshaun just wasn't playing well. But, I mean, other than that, you play... Crap, I forgot who they played.
They played the Ravens this week. They played the Browns, and then they played the...
Week 2, they played... Oh, that's week 1.
Was it a division game?
So week 2, they played the Saints, and when they got blown out at home. And then you have another home game against the Ravens, and you were getting blown out again until they came back and only put up 25.
Yeah.
Then now you have an away game at the Giants, so you can at least stop the bleeding and go 2-2 to at least get out of that slump. What are the chances that this team misses the playoffs?
Yeah, is it?
Those could have been two very convincingly, like two very good wins that could have established them as I'm like, okay, you beat the Ravens, and you beat the Saints, and the Saints came in as the number one offense. Or after that game, they were the number one offense.
Yes,
but still that could have been a game. And then the Eagles play your biggest rival. They play the same team that put up 44 on you, and we held them to under 150 yards or under 200 yards.
Yeah, it was nothing crazy. They didn't make as much noise. I don't know. I mean, we touched the poll was the first thing we went over with the lack of offseason moves, which I think is the biggest contributing factor. I'm like, I don't know. Is there anything you can do?
Should they have signed the guys first, or should they just have made the moves and then
they just had? I mean, Tyron Smith left, hurt their O-line a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't address the running back position. To me, you just got worse. And your running game's always been important, especially it's been the good O-line and there's been a good running back. And then that's always been it. It's been Murray, Pollard, Zeke when he was a rookie. They didn't address that. The CeeDee Lamb thing came up. That was a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense, Deron Bland's hurt.
Right.
Trayvon Diggs doesn't look all that great.
I think we've already known about him.
Yeah.
He's good at picking off the ball, but he one-on-one coverage.
He is the pick six stuff he was riding on. I mean, he's not a great defensive back. But...
Right. You lost Stephon Gilmore.
Yep.
So
Gilmore's gone.
And then that front four hasn't been there.
No.
At all.
Micah Parsons is missing. I don't know. I mean, you asked about the playoffs. I wouldn't sit here with my jaw on the floor if they missed the playoffs. But I do. They tend to figure it out. Like I said, they're a very good regular season team. I do think something will click.
Mm-hmm.
But, you can also look at Dak. I mean, he's got to do more. The whole team has to do more.
Correct.
There's something missing here that's not clicking.
So it's not so much more of like a one-person thing. It's just more so because of Jerry Jones's arrogance to not signing, like literally just taking the offseason off.
Losing a few pieces and then just really not replacing them with anything. Yes.
Right. And so now in that statement that he made about how Dak is going to have to prepare with less because he signed him, that doesn't make sense. I feel like that was really a shot. Being like, okay, well, since you guys want money, we're just not going to be able to wrap up.
It's backhanded.
Right.
Here's your contract. Now you're going to struggle because I'm not going to pay anyone.
And CeeDee Lamb got his money as well.
Yes.
So it's like, honestly, how I see it, he didn't want to sign either of them. But I don't know what he wanted to do in general at all because he just didn't pick anybody up. My fault.
No, you're good. No, I was just going to say they're so strange because, like, Jerry's ego is never going to let them go into full rebuild mode.
Right.
So he's okay with just being pedestrian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, first round. Okay, yeah, we're going home. Because he doesn't want to commit to either getting younger. They've always been an older team to an extent. That kind of doesn't really give me the feeling he's going to win a Super Bowl. That's obvious.
No, not
so you just sign him because he's a decent quarterback. What else are you going to get?
Right.
The CeeDee Lamb one I agree with. He's one of the best receivers in the league. You can't let him go.
I mean, but again, I always keep referring back to that the quarterback position. Like, who are you going to get if you don't sign these people?
Yeah.
It's like everyone will be in a quarterback conundrum. You have to just roll with who you have. You
literally have to first off get rid of the quarterback.
Right.
Then go a whole year sucking. Hopefully you can tank to get a good quarterback.
Right.
Hopefully that quarterback pans out because like Caleb Williams so far hasn't been tremendous.
Right.
He's supposed to be generational, but you can see how it works when you tank. Sometimes the quarterback doesn't work.
It's the same thing with Will Levis.
Same thing.
The hardworking quarterback. I get it. He works hard, but he's been shooting his team in the foot, trying to make a play.
Just funny memes. That's all he's doing. He got his hands on his head. He's fumbling while he's trying to throw the ball somewhere. I mean, he's just out of, yeah. The level of play is bad, and like you said, who are you going to replace these people with?
And literally, you can't because this league, and I think Micah said, I forgot who said, either Deshaun Jackson or Shady McCoy, but we're in an era where they're forcing these number one picks to come out and get them to the championship.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these people are just not being honest with themselves. Like, a lot of these guys' talent is just not transitioning into the league just yet.
Yeah.
We went from developing, I think Deshaun and Shady said it on their podcast. We're no longer of the league to just sit back and have guys sit back behind bets, like the guys that we're watching now.
Yeah.
No more, because they got rid of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you could have kept Joe Flacco in on one
to
of
learn
these
behind him. Yep, relax, take it easy. Yep.
As you said, with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
I get it. He was a pedestrian quarterback for the Titans, and he
never moved the needle, but he's always been serviceable.
And he was subpar in Miami when he was drafted there. But I would still be able to keep a vet in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just for, and not even just on the team, just in case like he gets hurt, but at least develop the quarterback.
Yeah, let him sit. So I brought this up before because I think we've had this conversation, but the Patriots are doing right by Drake May,
right?
Because if you look at Jacoby Brissett every game, he's getting killed.
Right.
Someone was saying like Jacoby Brissett sacrificing like his blood, sweat, and tears. He is getting cooked every week because O-line's so bad. But Drake May's sitting on the sidelines and he's learning. He didn't get thrown in the fire. The Packers are the best team that's ever done that. Rodgers sat, great quarterback. Jordan Love sat, great quarterback. They gave them time, but does anyone else do that? No. And it shows. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it shows. They get what they asked for. They get thrown out there, then they just fall to the wayside. But
so, honestly, that's really what happened with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
He was thrown out there in a very bad organization, was asked to turn this game around. So now he goes to a very good organization with bad habits and bad tendencies because the way he sees the game isn't winning football.
It takes a while to undo what was done. Yeah.
But no one has the time for it anymore because we're in a win-now league.
Yes. Hurry up, get out there, yeah.
Right. So now, I think from now until, I don't know, until organizations start to become better, these quarterbacks won't be better.
No.
At all.
No.
So if Field stays after the season and he actually gets developed, I think he can become better.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Jaden McDaniels, because he has everything.
He does.
And Washington has gotten rid of all the bad, and now they're looking to develop.
They started with the owner, and they went all the way down, and they're trying to rebuild the look of the team.
Right, and they're cleaning house, and this looks like a better football team. You can tell in its play.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Even when they lose, it's not like, okay, it's still the Washington.
Yeah.
But this is they have more promise.
Well, I worry. I mean, worry is a strong word, but like those games, which you guys always struggle with Washington, they're going to be dogfights this year, especially because Jaden Daniels is going to give that defense hell.
And we're just playing horrible.
Yeah, so it's going to be different anyway. But like every Commanders game now, they've earned my respect. I'll be like, okay, I'll pay attention. I'll give them their due.
Right.
Because you never know. But
right. Even though people didn't really think so high of CJ because he was an Ohio State quarterback. Now he's coming in here and taking the league by storm.
Yes.
So it's like some quarterbacks have it, but some don't. But you really have to evaluate who's the starting quarterback.
Yes.
Like, can Drake May come in? I think he could come in and do well.
I think he could. Even right now, I think he would be better than Jacoby Brissett. But like, do you want him to get beat that badly already?
Right.
Wouldn't you want we're not going to the playoffs this year. Just let Jacoby Brissett play.
Right.
And then by 2025, opening day, you need to have him out there with a good O-line and good weapons.
But then you have guys like Kenny Pickett, who was projected to be good, and then they
just didn't work.
It just fizzled out.
And the same thing with Bryce Young's a different story. Because we talked about the Panthers ruined him, right? The organization ruined him. But then Andy Dalton goes out and does that. I'm thinking, is it a Bryce Young issue? Like, I think the Panthers have definitely screwed Bryce Young. I think they didn't handle him well. They threw him out there with a bad team. But, like, they should have sat him. I don't know if he doesn't have the physical intangibles. He is short. He's got a few different things going on. But Andy Dalton just went out and did something that Bryce Young could not have done. Put up 32, 35 points. So there is definitely, like you said, it's these quarterbacks, man, they're so fragile. And it's, it's not good.
Yeah, I think with Bryce specifically, I think, as you said, both ways, he didn't get a good time to develop, but then also it was on him as well. I just don't think that when he came in and he had that season in at Alabama, I thought it was just a little too. I don't think he was ready.
I agree, because
it was just literally that one season, and I'm like, all right, well, everybody thinks he has all the intangibles. He's going to come in and change it. I think they overshot it by a million.
They did, and not only that is if they've compared, like, Kyler Murray's his best comparison, but he's slower than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray does a lot with his legs.
Correct.
So if you're just as short as Kyler Murray and you're slower than him and you really don't have the arm power either, I haven't seen him make any big bomb throws, then that's not a number one pick.
And I think the difference as well between the two, like, Murray came in, he wanted to win.
Absolutely.
You could tell, like, with him, he just wanted to come in and he was a winner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I didn't really see the same thing in Bryce.
No.
I think the lights, not the lights were too bright, but he just came in here is just like, okay, like, I don't think the opportunity was ready for him.
Oh, no, I agree.
More so him ready for the opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think with that, it goes both ways.
Oh, for sure.
But closing thing with Dallas, do they make the playoffs? I can see them being a very low seed.
Yeah.
But this team, I mean, even if they start winning, I don't think these problems are going to be addressed because you had an entire season. And if this is an injury-riddled season, then, I think with these past two games against good teams, I feel as if they're going to struggle.
Oh, for sure.
If they beat the pedestrian teams, then it might just seem like a whole Dolphin situation where they lose against better teams but beat the teams they need to beat.
Yeah.
And if they end up slightly above 500, then cool.
Yeah.
But will McCarthy come back? Possibly. But it also depends on how bad this team does.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. So, Belichick might be knocking. Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, he honestly looks like a better choice.
He does.
But he does. I mean, he could also go to the Jags. He could also go to
Philly.
He could.
At
this point, but I don't know. He doesn't. He's just not a. My only issue with him, and everyone's been a player's coach.
Yeah.
And to him, to me, he's not so much a player.
Oh, that's true. Which maybe, I don't mean to throw this out here, but maybe they need someone that's not a player's coach.
But that's how Philly's been successful, though.
That is their makeup, but I'm like, Sirianni, I feel like has rumored to. He's lost the locker room a few times, I feel like.
Oh, 100%.
So maybe they need like a hard ass to come in. I don't know.
I see like the videos and stuff, and I'm just like he just doesn't look like the fitting coach anymore.
No.
At all.
There's arrogance, like I said, that's like the whole thing, but it's just something about him. I'm like, I don't like it.
Nah, right. So, I don't know. It's not that. I mean, they're a well coached team when you bring them in there, but I'm not saying like we just need like a fun like the fun dad coach, but
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
but Andy Reid really made the makeup of the Eagles like a player's coach.
He is probably the best example of a player's coach.
Right,
yes.
Like the hard ass, but you know he will also treat you like a son.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. He treats you. He will coddle you if you really need it, but also if you mess up, you're going to know about it. Yeah, nothing. He doesn't pull punches.
Right, and after that, then Doug Peterson came in.
Yeah,
and then he was the same way, and then Nick was that.
He got there, and his head, I think, just got too big.
Right, because he came from Indy, and I mean, Indy was Indy, but then going to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
that was like the worst thing that could have happened to him was going to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So with the end of the vote, the lack of off-season signings, that was the major vote, and then injuries to key players and Dak Prescott were tied for second most. Mike McCarthy actually got off scot-free in this vote. So, but we will actually see what happens tomorrow. I'll be interested. I'll definitely be tuning in to watch that game against the Giants and that was a tough fall. No, they've been battling low key.
Yeah,
we've been for a WNBA game, they've been they've been very physical. I've been seeing slaps to the face. Yeah, when they go into the paint, they've been getting beat up.
There are people there too.
Damn. Yeah. This is a very physical game. Yeah. Oh yeah, Miles. Tomorrow will be good. Yeah, agreed. It's definitely a storyline. Oof.
Ugh. Could have been worse too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thankfully, she curved at the right there.
She kind of landed on her shoulder.
Right. Yeah, because that could have been just straight on her neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow will be an interesting storyline just to see if the Cowboys pull through or if the Giants are on the up and up. It'll definitely be a one-off. We'll see either way. But, yeah. Will it be a blowout? Depends on whose defense shows up.
It does, yeah. This season so far has been unpredictable. So
it has been.
I don't know.
I said, and the injuries too, we'll cover them next week.
I will say if New York gets clobbered tomorrow, that they're definitely for sure fake, and the Cleveland just gave one up,
right?
Because I don't know, but if they get close with Dallas, then they might be real. We'll see.
As far as injuries, I expect more injuries to stockpile up. I'm not sure what's going on with this season. Like it's week 4 and a lot of people are injured.
Yes.
Especially the 49ers. I'm not sure. Rams, they're beat up. Key players are out too. Hamstring injuries or the new ACLs
everywhere. Yeah.
And some people going out with concussions. So I expect like a lot of people to miss this week coming up. So week 5 may be the turning point for some of these teams to get out of their slump or continue their hot streak. So
we will see.
But other than that, we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode, man, of 4th and 0. We will be back next week, full squad, and this hurricane will definitely be gone by then.
Thank God, yes.
Yeah, because these hurricanes are really drags on people's lives.
They're annoying, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't really feel like having to prep just to stay inside.
Yeah.
It starts bringing back COVID time. I'm done with all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah, definitely stay safe, Ronnie, Devin. Stay safe.
Absolutely.
And thankfully, he doesn't have to. I don't think he'll have to work tomorrow.
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I still have to.
We working from home though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully, it's not too crazy.
Or the internet goes out.
I just
tell them I couldn't work.
Yeah. No. They said that, but I just hope the internet doesn't go out. So I won't mind working.
That's
tomorrow.
True. Yeah, I'd rather have the internet. Yeah.
I'd rather work with the internet up than to just be here and be like, I don't know when the internet's coming back.
Because then it's even
right.
That sucks.
Right. So we definitely appreciate y'all. We will be back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Without further ado, we are out of here.
See you.